Pokémon, I became a Pikachu. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction, so please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story and all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter, and if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 476, A Flash of Inspiration. I am Ash from the Kanto region. Accept my challenge. A new day dawned, and Ash, full of energy, uttered his catchphrase once more. Although he had defeated the psychic champion, Kazuki, last night, the Johto region's champions weren't just that one. Let's not even talk about fighting champion, Shiba. This guy holds the champion position in both Kanto and Johto, seemingly impressive, but actually the least noticeable one. As for the remaining two champions, the poison-type champion, Kikayo, although Ash had challenged him at the Kanto gym, that was a long time ago. Why should others not improve? Kikayo has been a champion for some time now, and his strength must have greatly increased. Besides Kikayo, the Johto region also has a dark-type champion, Rin, who is on par with Kazuki. Her strength is equally formidable. Now, Ash was going to challenge these two champions, who also reside in the Silver League. Ash, I heard from Aishu that your strength is indeed formidable, worthy of the title of Kanto champion. I can accept your challenge, but please rest here for a couple of days. We have some things to take care of. After we finish, we can begin our challenge match. Is that alright? The person speaking to Ash was a heavily made-up, alluring woman. This was Aishu's lover, the Dark-type Elite Four member, Rika. Do I have to wait a few more days? Waiting is painful, especially waiting for a battle. For Ash, this was the greatest torture. But what could he do? The place was theirs, the rules were theirs, and they said to wait a few days. Pikachu, not bad. Whether or not the Elite Four challenge match could proceed was of no concern to Mu Chen. At this moment, his attention was completely drawn to Rika. Holy crap! So charming. Unlike the youthful innocence of Misty and Lingzi, this woman exuded the charm of a mature woman the moment she appeared. Seeing Rika, Mu Chen was excited. However, Pikachu! You bastard, who is Ayaksha? Doesn't she know Pikachu's bastard nature? As soon as she felt Pikachu in her arms become restless, Ayaksha immediately launched her pinching technique. Pika, holy crap. Stop it. So many people are watching, you don't care about face, but I do. Right now, Ash is holding an official meeting with these people from the Silver League as the Kanto region champion. There are dozens of people here, can't you give me some face? Losing face in front of Rika, this mature beauty, Mu Chen felt extremely unhappy. Unfortunately, it was Ayaksha pinching him. But Mu Chen didn't notice that while he was struggling in Ayaksha's arms, a beautiful figure standing next to the poison-type Elite Four member, Aju, had her beautiful eyes sparkling with starlight. Night. Unable to initiate an Elite Four challenge, Ash naturally spent this boring day in utter boredom. Like Zhi, Mu Chen spent most of the day lounging around. He was eagerly anticipating the night. He had made a promise with a female ninja, Lingzi, to demonstrate his transformation technique today. Unlike Zhi, Mu Chen was truly in love with her, so he had more to consider. But Lingzi? Hell, she's a fuckbuddy, that's all. Zhi ruined his plans yesterday, so he'd make it up to Lingzi today. As for whether 5 minutes of transformation time would be enough? Hell, who's going to use that? For Zhi, it definitely wouldn't be enough, given their emotional connection, some foreplay was inevitable. For Lingzi, hell, why all that? I prefer simple and direct. Mu Chen was confident that if he was fast enough and Lingzi cooperated, the time would be more than enough. Thinking back, Lingzi wasn't too bothered when she didn't know she could transform. Now that she knows she's human and can transform, shouldn't this girl be even more proactive? Finally, filled with anticipation, Mu Chen, who had endured a long day, welcomed the arrival of night. Pikachu? Where are you going? Just as Mu Chen was tiptoeing out, Ayaksha, who had been fast asleep, suddenly woke up. Hearing Ayaksha's question, Mu Chen was almost startled and fell to the ground. Pikachu, holy crap. What's going on? Honey, weren't you asleep? What are you doing? I'm just going out for some fresh air, don't keep such a close eye on me. Of course, Mu Chen couldn't say this directly to Xiaoxia. Having been caught sneaking away, the helpless Mu Chen could only wave his little arms repeatedly at Xiaoxia. Huh? Pikachu, you mean you want to go find Ash? Xiaoxia was stunned after understanding Pikachu's meaning. What's going on? Why suddenly want to go find Ash in the middle of the night? Isn't this girl good enough? That's impossible. Pika, oh dear, don't misunderstand. Seeing Xiaoxia's confused expression, Mu Chen knew perfectly well that if he didn't use his full persuasive skills, he probably wouldn't be able to leave today. No way, gesturing was too tiring, so Mu Chen could only awkwardly find paper and pen and begin his furious writing mode. As for transforming? Just kidding, my transformation time today belongs to Lingzi. Pikachu? You're planning to trick Ash into going to Serena's room? Will that even work? Will Ash even be able to go? Seeing what Pikachu wrote, Xiaoxia was even more confused. Xiaoxia understood that Pikachu was eager to complete the mission, she herself was also very anxious. But how could Ash, that idiot, possibly go to Serena's room in the middle of the night? That's simply unrealistic. Pikachu, the normal method obviously won't work. But what kind of idiot is Ash? This guy's been sitting around all day without battling, isn't he getting restless? As long as I trick him, saying Serena wants to spar with him, that idiot will definitely fall for it. Anyway, it's the middle of the night, if I can fool him, I'll have a chance to build a relationship, right? The more Mu Chen thought about it, the more he felt his improvisational method seemed to work. Holy crap! Having Ash visit Serena more often in the middle of the night is really a way to enhance their relationship. Ash, that idiot, doesn't understand matters of the heart, but he's passionate about Pokémon battles. As long as I use battles to attract him every day, how could he not cling to Serena? Damn! Why didn't I think of that sooner? Chapter 477 Split Operations. Pikachu, HMPH. You little punk, trying to mess with me? I'll show you what's what. With a series of persuasive tactics, Xiaoxia was successfully won over. After all, Mu Chen's explanation was undeniably convincing. However, although Xiaoxia was convinced, the matter wasn't over yet. Mu Chen was eager to complete the mission and increase his transformation time, and Xiaoxia, having experienced that before, was no less eager. Now that this bastard had come up with a good plan, giving Xiaoxia hope for extending his transformation time, how could she not take it seriously? Precisely because she took it so seriously, the final result was that Mu Chen went to find Xiaoxia with his pigeon-toed gait, while Xiaoxia went straight to Serena. Mu Chen was hopeless about this outcome. What can he do? He's just too talented, even his random ideas are so convincing. Although it wasn't good to leave Lingzi waiting for him, considering his main quest and his future happiness, Mu Chen ultimately chose to deal with Xiaoxia first. Pikachu, knock. Knock. Knock, open the door. Open the door quickly. It's so damn cold at night. Xiaoxia's room wasn't far from Xiaoxia's, and in just a few steps, Mu Chen had already strolled to the door. Pikachu? What's wrong? Sleepy-eyed and yawning, Xiaoxia looked completely bewildered. What's going on? I'm always the one bothering this guy in the middle of the night, why is it the other way around today? Doesn't Pikachu always like to sleep with Xiaoxia? Why is it coming to me? Could it be? Could it have finally discovered the fun of battling? Wants me to go find someone to spar with? Pikachu, stop talking nonsense, come with me. Mu Chen, of course, had no idea what Xiaoxia was thinking. Otherwise, a 100,000 volt attack would definitely have been inevitable. What kind of boring, ridiculous battle fun is this? Wouldn't it be better to find a pretty girl in the middle of the night? Thinking about quickly dealing with this idiot Ash and then rushing to find Lingzi, Mu Chen didn't have time to explain much to him. Hey! Pikachu, wait! Wait for me, seeing Pikachu gesture at him and then turn to leave, Ash panicked. Could it really be that he'd found an opponent and was going to battle? Who is it? Was it the Poison-type Elite Four member, Kakayo? Or the Dark-type Elite Four member, Rika? Or perhaps someone else entirely? Clearly, Ash had no idea that Pikachu had called him out just to have him spend the night with Serena. Meanwhile, just as Mu Chen was pulling Ash towards the designated location, Misty's actions were also underway. Serena, wake up, huh? Misty? What's wrong? I was asleep, being woken up in the middle of the night. Serena was completely bewildered. What was going on? Zyaaksha is always glued to Pikachu, so why is she coming to see me so late at night? Did that rascal Pikachu make Zyaaksha angry again? Serena isn't Ash. As a smart girl, Serena had already noticed the unusual relationship between Zyaaksha and Pikachu along the way. Although she was curious about their relationship, she wasn't surprised. There are plenty of human Pokemon couples in this world. Although Serena couldn't understand Zyaaksha's taste, it was actually a good thing for her. At least, it ensured that Zyaaksha wasn't her rival, right? It was precisely because she understood this that Serena got along so well with Zyaaksha, eventually becoming best friends who could talk about anything. Serena. Quick, come quick. Pikachu and I have an idea. Zyaaksha woke Serena up, looking anxious. Creating an opportunity for the two of them to be alone together in the middle of the night was indeed a good idea. Even if it doesn't work the first or second time, you can't resist the slow and steady approach. Let this guy be glued to you every day, and when you're tired of fighting, you can just sleep together. Won't that make your relationship closer? Given enough time, how could Ash not give in? A way? What way? Hearing Misty say she had a way, Serena immediately perked up. Misty coming to her with a solution naturally meant something about Ash. Serena had almost given up on this stubborn guy after countless setbacks. If it weren't for the fact that this stubborn guy had already taken root in Serena's heart since childhood, she would never have persisted until now. Now, hearing there was a solution, how could Serena not be excited? Come on. From now on, every night you'll invite Ash out under the guise of a training session, then battle him or discuss Pokemon. This clueless guy doesn't understand matters of the heart, so let's talk to him about things he's interested in. As long as you spend every night with him like this, over time, won't it? Although this wasn't a quick fix, it was the only effective method against Ash, this blockhead. Okay, Serena was excited with a plan. What did it matter if it took a while? As long as she could win over Ash, Serena wouldn't mind. Pikachu. Where are we going? Huh? Misty? Serena? What are you doing here? What's going on? Traveling in two directions, Ash and Serena arrived at the designated location almost simultaneously. Of course, this so-called designated location was just a deserted wilderness that Mu Chen randomly picked. Anyway, Ash, this blockhead, doesn't understand anything, so what's the use of making it romantic for him? It's better to be practical and let the two of them start cultivating their relationship. Ash, it's like this. The explanation naturally fell to Misty. After a brief explanation, Ash finally understood why Pikachu had sought him out so late at night. Haha. Serena, what? You want to discuss Pokemon battles with me? Great. Let's begin. Having been cooped up all day, Ash was finally excited to have someone challenge him to a battle. Serena was his partner, but couldn't they still battle? Serena had her dragon brother Latius, so he could just use his dragon sister to battle her. For Ash, the opponent wasn't important, as long as there was a Pokemon battle, that was enough. Ash, I want to learn Pokemon battle techniques from you. I'll be relying on you from now on. During the day, Ash was either traveling or challenging others. Using this as an excuse, getting this goofball out every night was no problem at all. Pikachu, mission accomplished. Watching Ash enter battle mode, Mu Chen nodded in satisfaction. Now that things are settled here, can I retire gracefully and go find Lingzi? Chapter 478 Take your hand off me. Pikachu, Lingzi, you adorable little devil. I'm here. Having successfully tricked Ash and Serena into a battle, and even more successfully persuaded Misty to go back, Mu Chen was finally free. Of course, the excuse for persuading him to go back was simply that he would stay here to secretly observe Ash and Serena's progress, and incidentally protect this silly boy from any accidents. Misty didn't doubt Pikachu's explanation at all. Ash, that silly boy, was the key to the mission. He was the guarantee of her future happiness. If something happened to this silly boy, ultimately causing Pikachu to be unable to complete the mission entrusted to her by the gods, wouldn't she be in tragedy? After the last time, Misty had taken the time to specifically call her three experienced older sisters. During the call, Misty had a complete understanding of this kind of situation. Similarly, Misty knew that if she wanted her future happiness guaranteed, 5 minutes was definitely not enough. Even if that bastard Pikachu was a quick shooter and could finish the battle in 5 minutes. But what about foreplay? Nothing at all? Just straight to moaning and groaning until it's over? So simple and brutal? In Xiaoxia's words, you might find it novel once or twice. But after a while, you definitely can't stand it. Women still prefer the feeling of deep affection and intimacy. They still prefer plenty of foreplay before doing those moaning and groaning things. That's why Xiaoxia is now even more concerned about Xiaozi and Serena's relationship. Seeing that Pikachu is equally concerned, even staying up late at night to facilitate it, Xiaoxia is very satisfied. However, Xiaoxia doesn't know that this bastard Pikachu is planning to do something shady behind her back. Pika Pika, Lingzi. I'm here. You must have been waiting impatiently. Because of being delayed by Xiaozi, it's been more than 2 hours since Mu Chen and Lingzi agreed to meet. The thought of leaving that beautiful Lingzi waiting for him alone in the cold wind made Mu Chen's heart ache. I'm a gentleman. How can I keep a beauty waiting so long? The thought of finally experiencing a real human girl filled Mu Chen with excitement, making him tremble uncontrollably. However, as he excitedly ran towards the designated location, he realized that wasting 2 hours had indeed come at a price. Damn it. Who's next to Lingzi? Judging by the figure, it's a man. Holy crap. Could it be? At that moment, Mu Chen felt his head suddenly turn green. You son of a bitch, I haven't even tried it yet. Who dares to beat me to it? While Mu Chen didn't have much affection for Lingzi, and certainly wouldn't be as open and honest as he was with Xiaoxia, as a man, and especially a man with a protagonist's aura, Mu Chen's possessiveness was extremely strong. He hadn't even tried it himself, and someone had already beaten him to it? This was absolutely intolerable. Without a doubt, before Mu Chen could even see who it was, an electric current was already surging and leaping across his cheeks. Zzzzz, just you wait. Don't be so smug, I'll send you a charging ball of electricity right away. His heart burning with rage, Mu Chen increased his running speed. However, the closer he got, the more uncontrollable his anger became. Damn it. Get your filthy hands off me. Lingzi is mine. In the dim light, Mu Chen even saw the man's figure with his hands on Lingzi's fragrant shoulders. This made Mu Chen even more intolerant. Pikachu Pikachu, closer. Closer still. You just wait, my charging is almost finished. Running at breakneck speed, Mu Chen quickly approached the two's location. Just as he finished charging up and was about to make a grand entrance, Mu Chen had to slam on the brakes. Lingzi. What are you doing here so late at night? Listen to me. Go back now, brother. What are you doing here again? Lingzi's heart was pounding with excitement, having agreed to wait for Pikachu here. As a ninja, and a female ninja at that, Lingzi naturally understood matters of the heart from a young age. An ordinary female ninja might sacrifice herself for her master's mission, or be treated as a plaything by her master. But Lingzi's brother was Eiju. Thanks to Eiju's protection, Lingzi hadn't suffered such a tragic fate. However, Lingzi's heart was still filled with fantasies, longings, and expectations about matters of the heart. After her brother recognized Pikachu as his master, Lingzi naturally became Pikachu's possession. Originally, she simply thought this Pikachu was intelligent and had unusual interests. However, as Lingzi spent more time with him, she discovered that things weren't like that at all. This Pikachu, aside from its appearance, was no different from a human. In fact, its intelligence might even surpass that of a large portion of humans. Having been taken advantage of by Pikachu, and realizing its extraordinary nature, Lingzi's heart was completely captivated by it. Especially after being rescued by Pikachu at Team Rocket's base, Lingzi's heart was utterly won over. Knowing Pikachu had special preferences, Lingzi was prepared to offer herself to it. But unexpectedly, Pikachu forcibly resisted her advances. Originally, Lingzi thought that was the end of it. Pikachu would at most occasionally try to take advantage of her. But no one expected that when Ash and his friends arrived at the Silver League, Lingzi, upon receiving the news, immediately planned to find Pikachu and meet him. However, when Lingzi sneaked into the room, she discovered that Misty had entered with Pikachu, so Lingzi had to remain hidden. It was precisely because Lingzi was hiding in this house that she witnessed a scene she would never forget. Pikachu. It could transform. It could transform into a human. And a super handsome guy at that. Lingzi was completely stunned. She'd heard of humans transforming into Pokémon, but Pokémon transforming into human legendary Pokémon? Even legendary Pokémon couldn't all do that, right? Finally, Lingzi mustered her courage and asked Pikachu. As for the result? Of course, it was a happy ending. Originally, Lingzi was waiting here full of anticipation, ready to witness Pikachu's 5 minutes of true manliness. However, brother, what are you doing here in the middle of the night? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 479 Good Things Should Be Shared. Lingzi, I'm ordering you, as your older brother. Go back immediately. After a barrage of persuasion, his usually obedient younger sister, Lingzi, dared to defy him today, infuriating Aju. Damn it. Go back now. Don't delay my business. Brother. But if it weren't for her promise to Pikachu, if it weren't for wanting to witness Pikachu's 5-minute manly moment, how could Lingzi dare disobey her older brother's wishes? But this time, Lingzi truly didn't want to give up. Although Lingzi knew that because of her brother's sudden appearance, her fantasy was unlikely to come true. Lingzi, this is the last time. Go back immediately. Right now, facing Lingzi who dared to disobey him, Aju's eyes practically spit fire. This brat, she's gotten bold. Just wait. Wait until I'm done with my work today. Wait until I have some free time, and see how I deal with you. Yes, sir. In the end, under Aju's coercion, Lingzi yielded. There was no way around it. Aju was his brother and, more importantly, his superior. For a ninja, obedience to orders was paramount. HMPH, Aju coldly snorted, watching Lingzi turn back every few steps. However, Aju was unaware that Mu Chen, hidden in the nearby woods, had witnessed everything. Pikachu, what the hell? What's going on? What's Aju doing here in the middle of the night? And he even chased Lingzi away? Aren't you ruining my plans? Is this how you do things? Seeing Aju forcefully chase Lingzi away, Mu Chen was extremely displeased. Damn it. Aju, huh? Looks like you've become a king, thinking you're all that? Fine. You just wait. I'll beat you to pulp when I get back. Giving Aju a fierce glare, Mu Chen prepared to leave. Of course. Mu Chen wasn't about to return to Xiaoxi's place. Just kidding, Lingzi was just chased away. At worst, I'll chase after him. He'll be fine anywhere else, right? It's only 5 minutes, can't we settle this anywhere? But just as Mu Chen was about to leave, a figure suddenly appeared behind Aju. Seeing that figure, Mu Chen's foot, which had just been raised, fell back down. Chased away? HMPH. You're such a useless older brother, you can't even handle your sister. As the words fell, a woman with a voluptuous figure and irresistible charm appeared in Mu Chen's field of vision. Pika, holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Seeing the owner of that voice, Mu Chen couldn't move anymore. However, what excited Mu Chen even more was yet to come. Alright. The child is disobedient, I'll discipline him later. Darling, I've missed you so much. Seeing the woman appear, Aju was clearly also excited. As he spoke, he pounced on her, pulling her into his arms. Why did you have to pick such a lousy place? Couldn't you have just come to my room? Clearly, the woman still harbored resentment towards Aju's choice to have sex in the open. Ugh. That guy Yishu's psychic powers are too strong. What if he finds out? That would be a real problem. As he spoke, Aju's large hands began to roam freely. HMPH. Him? He wouldn't dare. Clearly, this woman had no fear of the psychic type Elite Four member, Yishu. You're an archetype Elite Four member, a natural counter to Yishu, but my poison type is no match. That guy Yishu is a complete counter to me. If he finds out about our relationship, what will become of me? The woman Aju was holding in his arms was none other than the Silver League's dark type Elite Four member, Yishu's lover, Rika. Pika, holy crap. What am I seeing? Aju and Rika? This is unbelievable. Who would have thought that Aju, who seemed so serious, was actually so cunning? When Mu Chen first saw this alluring pair blossom, he was filled with all sorts of fantasies. But who would have thought that he hadn't even exchanged a word with her before Aju had already won her over? Tisk, that guy Yishu, is his superpower some kind of green? Watching the two embracing in the woods, Mu Chen completely forgot about Lingzi. With such a show to watch, who would want to leave? Watching the two already engaged in their intense foreplay in the woods, Mu Chen became increasingly excited. This was truly a case of losing one thing and gaining another. Although my own good deed was ruined, watching their performance seemed pretty good. Wait! Holy crap! An opportunity. As he watched, a sudden inspiration flashed through Mu Chen's mind. As the saying goes, sharing is better than enjoying alone. With such a show to watch, I can't keep it all to myself. Mu Chen was never one to hog the spoils. At this moment, Mu Chen thought of his master. He thought of his partners who had shared life and death with him. He thought of his main quest, and even more so, he thought of his happy future. Without a doubt, this once-in-a-lifetime spectacle had to be shared with that idiot Xiao Zhi. Did that idiot Xiao Zhi not understand these things? HMPH. Making me perform for you myself would be too much of a loss for me. But as for Aju and Rika, well, I don't mind. At this moment, Mu Chen's only thought was to get that idiot Xiao Zhi over, and let him see and learn firsthand. It didn't matter if he didn't understand, as long as he was willing to learn, he would understand sooner or later. Today, Aju was incredibly capable and was going to give a live demonstration of real combat skills. Wasn't this the perfect opportunity? Turning his head to look at the two still fumbling around, Mu Chen, having made his decision, turned around. Pikachu Pikachu, high-speed movement activated. A flash of lightning activated. Run. Proud young man. Reaching his maximum speed, Mu Chen transformed into a golden bolt of electricity, quickly disappearing into the forest. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ash and Serena's battle was reaching a crucial moment. Latius. Use Dragon Pulse, Latius. Use Dragon Pulse. One was a dragon brother, the other a dragon sister. Their fighting strength wasn't significantly different. Because of this, Ash was very satisfied with this evenly matched battle. Of course, there were others who weren't so satisfied. Looking at Ash's excited face, Serena sighed inwardly. Why do you have to be so engrossed in Pokémon battles under this beautiful moonlight? Chapter 480 Running Wild. Pikachu? What are you doing here, haha? Serena, I know why Pikachu came. It must have been unable to sleep and wanted to train with us. Just as Serena was feeling helpless, and Ash was feeling excited, a golden figure appeared in front of them. Previously, Pikachu and Misty had left one after the other, and Ash and Serena hadn't thought much of it, assuming the two were going back to rest. But unexpectedly, Pikachu had returned so soon. Serena was filled with questions about Pikachu's return. What's going on? Didn't we agree to give them some alone time? You're a golden-skinned mouse, what's the point of a light bulb being too dim? Why did you come back? Although Serena was exasperated about playing Pokémon battles with Ash, that idiot, in the middle of the night, at least it was some time alone with Ash, right? And what was Pikachu doing back? Serena asked, and Ash, being clever, immediately gave an answer. However, Pikachu, battle training my ass? I could do so many other things. You're out of your mind, but I'm not going to play along. Hearing Ash's idiotic interpretation, Mu Chen, who had been running all the way, was nearly driven mad with anger. This idiot, what the hell do you know besides battles? Complaining inwardly, Mu Chen was too lazy to waste his breath explaining to this idiot. He rushed forward, and in a few leaps, Mu Chen was beside Ash. Pikachu! Pikachu! The little arms waved repeatedly, Mu Chen making a gesture for Ash to follow. Huh? You're not here for battle training? Ash was disappointed to see Pikachu's actions. Ash, Pikachu seems to want us to follow it. Seeing Pikachu make a series of gestures and then turn around, urging Ash to catch up, Serena understood its intention. What are we going to do now? Ash had been dragged out of his room by Pikachu and sent here to battle with Serena. They hadn't even been fighting for long, and now they were back? What was going on? Were they moving locations? Or had something happened? Ash looked at Pikachu, who kept turning back to urge him on after a few steps, completely bewildered. Pika Pika, holy crap. Why all this nonsense? Hurry up and catch up. Who knows how strong that guy is? If we delay any longer, he'll be done. To get Ash to understand, and for his own future happiness, Mu Chen was genuinely anxious. He'd been gone for a few minutes, and taking Ash back would be even slower. What if they got back and the battle was over, leaving him with a mess? That would be a tragedy. Mu Chen didn't want to waste the whole night. If that was the case, he'd rather stay and observe, learn something. Ash. Wait for me. Finally, after much urging from Mu Chen, Ash put aside his doubts. He put away his dragon sister Latius and chased after Pikachu in the direction it had run. Ash's pursuit made Serena panic. Don't you have a heart? Leaving me alone in the wilderness in the middle of the night? Is this something a human would do? However, Ash, that idiot, had already run off, leaving only his back view. Even with her pent-up anger, Serena could only grit her teeth, stomp her feet, and chase after Ash. Pikachu, Pikachu, Serena. You better hold on. As a man, a king-level man, and a ninja at that, you have to hold back. This kind of drama was nothing to Mu Chen. He'd seen countless films in his past life. What hadn't Mu Chen seen? But this world doesn't have those popular, action-packed blockbusters. That's precisely why Mu Chen cherishes this opportunity so much. It doesn't matter if he can't see it himself, but Zhi, that simpleton, absolutely must see it. This is his enlightenment. This is something that can open his eyes. Mu Chen had considered this before. It's okay if he doesn't understand, he'll understand after watching, right? But then a problem arose. It's easier said than done. Where to watch? This world doesn't have action-packed blockbusters, and Mu Chen couldn't possibly be the male lead himself to give Zhi a personal demonstration. Ultimately, it was precisely because of this impracticality that Mu Chen's plan ended before it even began. But unexpectedly, just when things seemed hopeless, a new path opened up. His date with Miss Lingzi was ruined, but the one who ruined it, Aju, made amends. This guy, for art, bravely sacrificed himself. Aju has already sacrificed herself, even throwing away that Rika that Mu Chen covets. How can I not go all out? This time, Mu Chen was determined to let Zhi see what he needed to see and learn what he needed to learn. Ah! Pikachu! I'm already chasing after it, don't shock me. Mu Chen didn't care how fast Serena ran behind him. This little girl knew everything, whether she should or shouldn't. But Zhi had to speed up for me. To make Zhi run even faster, Mu Chen didn't spare any energy. He would lead for a while, then turn around and give Zhi a shock in the butt, before continuing to lead. Finally, under Mu Chen's frantic urging, Zhi arrived at the location where Mu Chen had observed Aju and Rika battling in just a few minutes. Pikachu, why did you bring me here? Why did you shock me again? Seeing Pikachu stop, Zhi was completely bewildered. What's going on in the middle of the night? After running like crazy, why isn't he moving now? Zhi was originally going to ask, but Mu Chen wasn't going to give him the chance. Idiot. Why don't you speak louder and alert those two who are locked in a fierce battle? By the moonlight, Mu Chen could already see Ag and Rinka locked in combat. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. He missed the warm-up matches, but at least he made it to the finals. Now, it's just a matter of how much this idiot Zhi can learn from it. Unfortunately, this idiot Zhi clearly hadn't noticed a battle not far ahead. Pikachu? Say something. What's going on? Are there enemies here? Or is someone challenging me? Pikachu, are you blind or deaf? Can't you hear or see for yourself? Chapter 481 Zhi tries to mediate. Oh my god. What are those two doing? Finally, Ash, that goofball, spotted the two locked in fierce combat in the forest. Seeing this, Ash was completely dumbfounded. What was going on? Were those two fighting? But the question was, if they were fighting, why weren't they summoning Pokémon? That man should be the Poison-type Elite Four member, Pikachu. And that woman, that's clearly the Dark-type Elite Four member, Rika. Two such powerful Elite Four members, why were they fighting by themselves instead of using Pokémon? Could it be that they'd already used all their Pokémon and they were all incapacitated? Yes. That must be it. Otherwise, why would these two be fighting themselves? Even tearing their clothes apart? This battle was just too brutal. But judging from the current situation, Pikachu was clearly in a dominant position. After all, he was a ninja, and his fighting power was incredibly strong when he fought personally. Pikachu, Pikachu, holy crap. Brilliant. Truly brilliant. Can't you tell what they were doing? Do you even need to ask? They're doing it right now. Hearing Zhi's question, Mu Chen rolled his eyes, ignoring the idiot beside him and focusing entirely on the two locked in fierce combat. Damn it, this was a chance to observe and learn. He'd missed the initial probing phase, But now that it was the final battle, he couldn't miss it. However, Mu Chen, engrossed in the spectacle, didn't notice that Xiao Zhi's expression was growing increasingly grim. No. We can't let them keep fighting like this. If it continues, someone will definitely die. Looking at the increasingly intense battle, Xiao Zhi's face was serious. These two were both Silver League champions. If anything happened to either of them, wouldn't the Silver League be thrown into massive chaos? Chaos was one thing, but if the chaos escalated, the harm to ordinary people would be immense. Xiao Zhi used to not care, but after becoming the Kanto region champion, he felt a sense of responsibility. Now, seeing the fierce battle between Aju and Rinka, Ash started to take the Silver League's actions seriously. Pikachu, holy crap. Did it realize this little guy knew so much? Damn it, were you pretending to be innocent before? You could even tell that continuing would lead to someone's death? This guy's a pro. Ash's mutterings took on a different meaning to Mu Chen. Based on Mu Chen's years of experience, in these kinds of situations, without proper safety measures, causing someone to die is quite common. That Ash, this idiot, could actually see that was truly beyond Mu Chen's expectations. But just as Mu Chen was marveling at Ash's hidden talent, Ash's next words completely shattered his illusions. Pikachu. We can't just stand by and watch. Charge in, use Thunder Wave, separate them first. Overflowing with a sense of justice, Ash solemnly issued the attack command. Pikachu, what the hell? What the hell? Did I hear that right? Hearing Xiao Zhi's words, Mu Chen was completely dumbfounded. Holy crap. What the hell are you talking about? Is that even human language? They're fighting so fiercely, and you want me to rush in and unleash an electromagnetic wave? Are you crazy or am I? If I unleash that electromagnetic wave, won't those two fight me to the death? Mu Chen wouldn't even break up a couple, let alone electrocute them. This is simply not something a human could do. Hurry up. Pikachu, we can't let them keep fighting. Look at that Elite Four member, Li Hui. She looks like she's about to give up. Li Hui is Yushu's lover. If something happens to Li Hui, won't Yushu seek revenge on Aju? If that happens, won't the entire Johto region be thrown into complete chaos? Xiao Zhi declared that he would absolutely not allow such a thing to happen. Pika, are you out of your mind? Damn it. You really don't understand? It's so obvious, can you stop scaring me? Ash's urging voice came again, and Mu Chen finally reacted. So, this idiot didn't understand at all? Damn it, help. If he can't even understand this, what can I do? At this moment, Mu Chen felt more desperate than ever about this main quest. This isn't just a clueless idiot, he's an absolute, unyielding straight man. Pikachu. Hurry up. Ugh. Never mind, Latius, come out. Ash, of course, couldn't sense Mu Chen's despair. Seeing that this guy had switched to disobedient mode again, Ash got anxious. Fine, if you won't listen, then I'll summon an obedient one. But just as Ash took out his Pokeball, preparing to summon the dragon sister Latius, a series of rapid breaths suddenly came from behind him. Ash. Wait for me. I'm exhausted. The person who came was Serena, who had fallen behind. Serena's stamina was no match for Ash's clumsy nature. After a frantic chase, drenched in sweat, Serena finally caught up with Ash. Serena? You're just in time. Quick, let's work together to separate them. We can't let them continue fighting. If they keep going, someone could really die. Ash was overjoyed to see Serena arrive. Having a helper was always better than being alone, right? This was about mediating, not fighting. Ash admitted he'd never done anything like mediating before and had absolutely no experience. Huh? Separate who? Who's fighting? Following Ash's direction, Serena turned her gaze. Before she could even finish her sentence, Serena screamed. Luckily, the battle between Kiko and Blossom was too intense, and Serena's scream overlapped with Blossom's. Otherwise, Ash and the others would have definitely been discovered. See? We can't let them keep fighting. Look, the Dark-type Elite Four member, Rin, is almost at her limit. We have to separate them. Serena's scream didn't attract Ash's attention. He thought it was just because she was too surprised. Ash. Are you really stupid? Seeing such a fierce scene, Serena's pretty face immediately turned bright red. Before she could even catch her breath, Ash's voice rang out again. Hearing what Ash said, Serena almost fainted from anger. Chapter 482 Xia, with a head full of question marks. What? Misty, what should I do? Am I completely hopeless? At this moment, Serena's pretty face screamed despair. Earlier, guided by Pikachu, Ash and Serena had witnessed some amusing scenes. Serena understood them instantly after just one glance. Although shy, she didn't feel much resentment. In fact, she felt a faint sense of anticipation and gratitude. The gratitude, of course, was for Pikachu. This little thing had gone to great lengths to help her. As for anticipation, she hoped that Ash, that simpleton, would finally understand after witnessing this, or at least become somewhat curious. But Alice, reality was cruel, cold, and emotionless. When Serena realized that Ash, that idiot, hadn't understood what the two in the forest were doing at all, and was instead trying to break them up, Serena practically spat out blood. This wasn't just iron, it was titanium alloy and stainless steel. Because Serena arrived too late, she only witnessed the end of the fight. Just as Ash delivered a critical hit to Serena and was about to summon his Pokémon to intervene, the two who had been fiercely battling in the forest made up. Seeing the battle end and Aju comforting Rika, Ash finally gave up on trying to break up the fight. Maybe I'm overthinking it? Is this how they train every day? No wonder they're Elite 4 level powerhouses. Even their training is so different. It seems I still have a lot to learn. Fortunately, Ash didn't voice his inner thoughts. Otherwise, Serena wouldn't have spat blood, but she wouldn't have been the only one there. I'm giving up on Lingzi. I gave up a fantastic battle, spent the whole night running back and forth, and this is the result. When Mu Chen saw Ash telling Serena the same thing, about going to try and break up the fight, Mu Chen vomited. And this was just because that idiot Ash wanted to break up the fight. If Mu Chen knew what Ash was thinking at the time, he would definitely go from vomiting blood to spitting blood non-stop. After the fierce battle between Aju and Rinka ended, Ash lost interest in continuing to battle in the middle of the night, and the group naturally dispersed and returned to their own rooms. Ash, that idiot, had battled Serena for half the night and witnessed the intense battle between the Silver League Elite Four members, so he was truly satisfied. Feeling comfortable, Ash naturally returned to his room and fell fast asleep without saying a word. But while he slept soundly, someone else couldn't sleep. After being dealt a fatal blow by Ash, Serena rushed into her best friend Misty's room with tears streaming down her face and started crying to her best friend. "Oh, Serena, don't cry. What happened? Pikachu. Tell me, what's wrong?" Serena burst in crying, ignoring all of Zioxa's questions. Finally, Zioxa, exasperated, could only ask Pikachu, who followed behind looking dejected. "What happened? Everything was fine before. Did Ash, that idiot, go all out in the battle and kill Serena? But even so, it shouldn't be that bad, right? Serena should know Ash's idiotic nature, shouldn't she? Besides, so what if she lost to Ash? Serena isn't exactly a Pokemon battle enthusiast. Pikachu, holy crap. You're asking me? I can't explain." Already feeling down, Zioxa wanted him to explain, and Mu Chen wasn't in the mood. Besides, even if you were, Mu Chen wasn't going to explain. Explaining would only make things worse. Mu Chen had witnessed firsthand how clever Zioxa was. Damn it, his excuse for leaving was to protect Zioxi and the others, but he'd ended up somewhere else and even found Aju and Rinka? How was he supposed to explain this? Why had he run away? Mu Chen knew that if Zioxa pressed him for an explanation, he'd be the one in trouble. Therefore, he chose to ignore Zioxa's questions. With a completely resigned expression, Mu Chen found a corner and went into bed. HMPH, ask Serena if you want. I'm not saying a word. What happened? Initially, she thought Serena had suffered some kind of shock, but seeing even Pikachu looking listless, Zioxa finally realized the seriousness of the situation. Judging from the current situation, something major must have happened. "Serena, don't cry. What happened?" Pikachu was already lying down, so Zioxa ignored it and could only ask the sobbing Serena again. Upon entering the house, Serena declared she had no hope, then sighed in anguish, while Pikachu groaned. Zioxa was completely panicked. "If only I hadn't come back." "What? You should ask Pikachu." Heartbroken, Serena had no heart to tell Zioxa anything. Besides, how could a girl like her talk about something like this? Faced with Zioxa's questioning, Serena ultimately passed the buck back to Pikachu. Seeing one of them crying silently and the other looking utterly dejected, Hiding in a corner, Zaya Aksha was speechless. You two won't say anything. How am I supposed to know what happened? Fine. You're awesome. I won't ask. I'll ask Ash. Knowing it was pointless to ask, Zaya Aksha, finally exasperated, stomped her foot and charged straight at Ash. Pikachu, holy crap. So fierce? Seeing Zaya Aksha slam the door and leave, Mu Chen, who was lying in bed, immediately sprang to his senses. Zaya Aksha was smart, and Mu Chen wasn't stupid either. What was she up to going out in the middle of the night? She was obviously going to confront Xiao Zhi. No way. I'd better follow her and see what that idiot Xiao Zhi has to say. To prevent things from getting out of control, Mu Chen couldn't stay in bed any longer. With a kick of his short legs and a wiggle of his butt, Mu Chen ignored the still crying Serena and chased after Zaya Aksha in the direction she had gone. Xiao Zhi. Tell me, what happened between you guys? Why is Serena crying so much when she came back? Did you bully her? Zaya Aksha wasn't so polite to Xiao Zhi. She kicked open the door, and before anyone could be seen, Zaya Aksha's voice rang out. However, as Zaya Aksha followed the sound into Xiao Zhi's room, her voice changed. A scream rang out, which Mu Chen, who was not far behind, heard clearly. Pikachu, holy crap. Danger. Hearing Zaya Aksha's scream, Mu Chen disregarded everything else and rushed towards the room where Zaya Zhi was. Chapter 483 I'll blast you to death with lightning. Huh? Misty, what brings you here? See? This is a new battle technique I learned, but it seems I can't handle it alone. Do you want to try it with me? Misty's scream didn't startle Ash, who was focused on his training. That's right, after returning to his room, he didn't fall asleep immediately. Lying on the bed, Ash's mind kept replaying the scene he had witnessed. Although he didn't understand why Kikayo and Rika, both Silver League Elite Four members, were arguing and even fighting, the observant Ash still noticed something. At the very least, Kikayo's battle style and attack methods were worth learning from, weren't they? It must be a battle style unique to ninjas, right? Did you see how Rika could only be manipulated and scream in agony under Kikayo's frenzied attacks? Clearly, that battle style was extremely powerful. Although in the Pokémon world, most battles rely on Pokémon. However, Ash was never one to be content with the status quo. While his Pokémon possessed formidable fighting power, Ash was constantly thinking about strengthening himself. Unfortunately, aside from his naturally maxed out special defense and resistance stats, he didn't possess any combat skills. Ash didn't care about psychic abilities like Sabrina's or Kazuki's. After all, those were innate, and you simply didn't have them. But Kikayo's fighting style seemed to have less stringent requirements regarding innate conditions. Because of this, Ash couldn't sleep peacefully anymore, determined to master this fighting style before the memories faded. Initially, Ash simply imitated Kikayo's movements, but as he imitated, he realized something was off. Finally, after some thought, Ash found the problem. It seemed that when he first saw Kikayo, his clothes had already disappeared due to the battle? Or rather, it wasn't due to the intensity of the battle, but rather Kikayo's intention? This way, he could more effectively utilize the advantages of this fighting style. With this idea in mind, Ash naturally wanted to try it out immediately. Unexpectedly, just as he freed himself from the constraints of his clothes and began training, mimicking the fighting style of Kikayo, Misty burst in. Seeing Misty, Ash suddenly understood. I finally know why something felt different during training. So that's it. Kikayo's training was real combat. Imitating him is naturally real combat too, but the problem is, how can you fight without an opponent? This is precisely why Ash didn't show any surprise upon seeing Misty, but instead invited her over. As for not being dressed, in Ash's view, this was training, a necessary change to become stronger, nothing to be surprised about. Get out. You pervert. Ash was unfazed, but Misty was furious. Who would have thought that barging into Ash's room would result in such an unsightly scene? If it were just being naked, that would be tolerable. After all, she had forced her way in, and such an embarrassing incident wasn't impossible. But what the hell are you doing now? Zaya Aksha isn't Zaya Zhi. Although she and Mu Chen haven't gone all the way in this area, Zaya Aksha already knows everything, both what she should and shouldn't know. How could Zaya Aksha not be excited and furious at such a disgusting scene? Without a word, she grabbed the trash can from the doorway and threw it at Zaya Zhi. After throwing it, unable to bear the sight any longer, Xiaoxia turned and ran. Oh no! She'd witnessed something so disgusting, this was going to be a nightmare. Hey? Hey? Xiaoxia, what are you doing? If you don't want to practice, fine, but why are you hitting me? Suddenly hit on the head with a trash can, Xiaoxia was furious. What was this all about? Kicking in the door, cursing, hitting, and then leaving. Did I offend you? Without another word, Xiaoxia, unwilling to back down, grabbed the trash can and chased after him. He'd been brutally beaten like this, he needed an explanation. Just as Xiaoxia stormed out in anger, Mu Chen arrived, having run all the way. Seeing Xiaoxia leave in a huff, Mu Chen was stunned. Pikachu, Pikachu, what's wrong? Why is she so angry? Holy crap! Did that idiot Xiaoxia really say something he shouldn't have? Damn it! I'm in trouble. The thought of Xiaoxia leaving in such a rage made Mu Chen feel like he was going to be skinned alive. What to do? What to do? No. I have to think of something. Mu Chen knew Xiaoxia's personality very well. This little girl absolutely couldn't tolerate the slightest imperfection. If she found out he'd gone out to meet Lingzi in the middle of the night, it would be the death of him. However, just as Mu Chen was panicking, Xiaoxia, carrying a trash can, chased after him from the room. Seeing Xiaoxia's natural pose, Mu Chen was even more bewildered. Pikachu, what the hell is this? Are you trying to put on some kind of performance art for me? With your skinny frame, what's so artistic about you? Wait a minute. Holy crap. Something's not right. At first, Mu Chen was mocking Xiaoxia's skinny physique. But suddenly, Mu Chen realized, damn it, it seems my precious Xiaoxia just came out of this idiot's room, right? Could it be? Damn. I've been ripped off. As an experienced driver, how could Mu Chen not guess the cause and effect after seeing the scene before him? Xiaoxia, that idiot, had some kind of crazy idea, doing some kind of back-to-nature performance art, and just happened to be bumped into by his precious Xiaoxia. That's why Xiaoxia was so angry. Thinking of this, Mu Chen wouldn't stand for it. Damn it. You can do performance art and nobody cares, but you dare to do it to my precious Xiaoxia. Do you think I'll tolerate that? Without further ado, the furious Mu Chen attacked. Pikachu, electric shock? No. Electromagnetic wave? No. 100,000 volts? No. Electric ball? No. 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 I'll blast you to death with lightning. Other things are one thing, but Xiaoxia is absolutely Mu Chen's Achilles heel. That idiot Xiaoxia dared to disgust his precious Xiaoxia. Mu Chen was completely enraged. He'd just blast you to death. He'd skip the main quest. He absolutely wouldn't tolerate your lousy behavior today. Crackling sounds. With Mu Chen's summons, a dark cloud appeared in the midnight sky. Directly below the cloud stood Xiaoxia, looking utterly bewildered. Chapter 484 Opportunity. Boom. 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 Thunderclaps rained down on the Silver League at midnight. Faced with this natural weather, no one in the Silver League found it strange, nor did anyone bother to investigate. While thunderstorms were infrequent in this area throughout the year, they weren't non-existent. Such a sudden clap of thunder wasn't unusual. Besides, it was the middle of the night, who would bother with that? Even if some equipment was damaged, they could deal with it tomorrow. Of course, precisely because of this, nothing was discovered. Amidst the thunder, a boy stood unmoved, struck countless times by lightning. Ah! Pikachu! Why did you shock me? Of course, the human body has its limits. Having withstood countless lightning strikes, even with his maxed-out special defense, Ash finally uttered his last question before completely losing consciousness. Pika Pika, why? You figure it out yourself. Seeing Ash's body blasted black but his breathing perfectly steady, Mu Chen was helpless. Damn it! Even a legendary Pokémon would be in bad shape after taking that hit. At least show some reaction, even just a puff of smoke would do. At this moment, Mu Chen finally understood what it meant to be the child of the world, truly a man blessed by the power of this world. He's practically mortal. Ignoring Ash, who was already unconscious from the electric shock, Mu Chen strode away with a carefree air. As for Ash still lying in the wilderness? Well, the idiot's just unconscious, he'll just pretend he's sleeping. He'll go back when he wakes up. With my small frame, how could I possibly move him? Pikachu, did you do this? He hadn't gone far when Mu Chen saw Misty standing not far away with a shocked expression. Pikachu, Pikachu, honey, what are you still doing here? Don't look at that idiot, he's not suitable for children. Besides, his body is nowhere near as good as mine. Xiaoxia is mine, and Mu Chen will never allow her to look at other men, even passively. Pikachu, won't Ash get hurt if you do this? Xiaoxia knew perfectly well why Pikachu had attacked. Her heart was filled with sweetness at the thought. At least, Pikachu's actions were enough to show his care for her, weren't they? However, what Xiaoxia couldn't accept was that Pikachu's attack seemed a bit too fierce this time. Before, it was at most an electric shock, occasionally a 100,000 volt. Today, it was a thunderbolt. Pika Pika, it's okay, that idiot is very resistant to electricity. Even if I were to die from exhaustion, he wouldn't be hurt. By the way, what exactly was that idiot doing earlier? Was he trying to harass you? If he really dared to do that, I'll go back and beat him up right now. After a series of gestures, Mu Chen answered Xiaoxia's question and then turned to ask her something. This idiot, he's actually playing the return to nature card? This doesn't seem like his personality at all. Knowing Ash as he is, he usually sleeps soundly after a battle. What's wrong with him today? Why is he acting like this? I don't know what happened. As soon as I went in, Ash, seeing Mu Chen's question, Xiaoxia looked terrified. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Who would have thought that Ash, this idiot, would do something like this? Xiaoxia swore that if Mu Chen didn't need to rely on this idiot to complete the mission, she would have left without hesitation and never seen that disgusting idiot again. Pikachu, holy crap. What the hell? While Xiaoxia was explaining what had happened with lingering fear, Mu Chen's focus shifted. He had already vented his anger and punished Ash, so Mu Chen wouldn't dwell on it anymore. Anyway, it was my precious Xiaoxia who watched Ash, not this idiot who watched my Xiaoxia. Frankly, it's just an eyesore at most. At this moment, Mu Chen's attention had shifted to something else. Through Xiaoxia's description, Mu Chen suddenly realized that the reason Ash, this idiot, wasn't sleeping in the middle of the night but instead was playing the Back to Nature game was because he had seen AG and Rinka's battle, and this idiot was actually imitating it. What does this mean? Whether Ash was genuinely interested in that kind of thing or was simply imitating, this was a golden opportunity for Mu Chen. Xiaoxia? Absolutely not. Even if Mu Chen were crazy, he would never let Xiaoxia become Ash's sparring partner. But don't forget. Besides Xiaoxia, there's also Serena, who's practically begging to be offered up. Mu Chen couldn't bear to part with Xiaoxia, but he didn't care about Serena. Moreover, Serena probably wanted this kind of thing more than anything. Pikachu, Pikachu. Thinking of this, Mu Chen became excited. Forgetting to comfort his precious Xiaoxia, Mu Chen quickly jumped into her arms, gesturing wildly with his little hands to describe his thoughts. Huh? Pikachu, you mean? But, will this work? Even if Serena agrees, will Ash accept it? Understanding Pikachu's description, Xiaoxia was a little confused. Was this reliable? That idiot Ash probably didn't understand at all, he was just imitating that disgusting thing. But the problem was, Ash was imitating because he thought it was some kind of battle training. If Serena were to cooperate, what if that idiot Ash realized something was wrong? Xiaoxia knew all too well how stubborn Ash could be. She was certain that if Ash really realized something was wrong, even if they had reached a crucial step, he would immediately stop. Pikachu, Pikachu, what are you worrying about? Ash might be a bit of a simpleton, but he just doesn't understand. After all, isn't this simpleton still a man? And men, do you think I don't understand? If it really comes to that, even if Ash realizes something's wrong, he probably won't want to stop, right? Mu Chen is quite confident about this. Besides, so what if he fails in the end? It's just one chance. Now, the main problem is with Serena. Whether this little girl is willing to cooperate, and to what extent, is the key factor. To get that stubborn Ash to comply, Serena's cooperation must be high, and she must actively guide that simpleton. Only then will Mu Chen have any hope of completing this mission. Chapter 485 Serena's hesitation. What? How can this be? If Serena was heartbroken and crying before, now she was utterly horrified and her morals were completely shattered. Had Misty gone mad? What kind of nonsense was she spouting? Me, going to cooperate with Ash? Going with him to imitate that bastard, and Rinko, Doing that damned special training? Ash, that idiot, might not know, but surely Serena knew? This wasn't some kind of bullshit training. This was practically making her imitate that shameless woman, Rinko, actively cooperating, guiding, even seducing Ash. Serena did like Ash, but she genuinely couldn't bring herself to do something like this right now. Oh. Serena, this is a golden opportunity. Don't you know what kind of idiot Ash is? It's rare for him to be interested in something like this. This is her chance to seize the opportunity and take him down. Once he's tried it once and knows what it's like, are you worried he won't be interested in you anymore? If we wait until he loses interest in this so-called special training, who knows when we'll get another chance? Serena disagreed, and Misty almost jumped up in frustration. No way. You're the key player in this plan. If you disagree, won't we be in an awkward position? Just as Misty said, given Ash's current idiotic state, this kind of opportunity is truly one that, if missed this time, might never come again. Offering herself to Ash and cooperating with him on this damn special training was absolutely out of the question. If Serena didn't cooperate, Misty really had no other options. But this is just too embarrassing. It's my first time, as a young girl, who wouldn't be filled with anticipation for their first time? While the person in question was indeed Ash, the one Serena had fallen for, the process, the method, was simply unacceptable to Serena. Oh, Serena, it's okay, don't overthink it. This is just between the two of us. I promise. No matter what happens, I won't tell anyone. Serena's disagreement stemmed from a girl's modesty. As a fellow girl, how could Misty not understand Serena's thoughts? As long as she dispelled Serena's concerns and allowed her to face the situation bravely, that would be enough. As for Pikachu nestled peacefully in Misty's arms? How would Misty tell Serena that Pikachu had orchestrated everything? Oh no. I still don't feel right, she wavered. Hearing Serena's hesitant words and seeing her conflicted expression, Mu Chen, who had been lying down, perked up his ears. Clearly, Serena was considering it. Her current refusal was merely her last act of pride. Serena, you'd better think this through. If you miss this opportunity, who knows when you'll get another one like this. Mu Chen noticed Serena's change of heart, and Xiaoxia certainly didn't. Seeing that Serena's defenses had been breached, Xiaoxia pressed her advantage, relentlessly using the persuasive techniques she had learned from Mu Chen. Finally, well, okay then, Serena declared, falling for Xiaoxia's charm. That's great. Serena, Ash, that idiot, just got knocked out by Pikachu. Go take care of him now. If he wakes up quickly, you can take the opportunity to tell him you want to do that special training. If he doesn't wake up today, you can use this opportunity to get to know him better so you won't be so shy later. After saying this against her conscience, Xiaoxia became nervous again. The rest depended entirely on Serena's efforts. Just as Mu Chen said, Xiaoxia didn't care about the progress between Ash and Serena. But the problem was, if these two didn't get together, if that idiot Ash didn't finally find a girlfriend, what about her own lifelong happiness? For her own lifelong happiness, Xiaoxia chose to sacrifice Serena without hesitation. Under Xiaoxia's coaxing, Serena left the room, looking back every few steps, heading towards where Ash was lying. However, when Serena saw Ash still unconscious and back to normal, she hesitated again. Xiaoxia, maybe we should just forget about it? I really can't. Although she had fantasized about this kind of thing, Serena still blushed deeply when she saw Ash's natural look. This was, really. Serena. We only have this one chance. Who knows when we'll get another one? Xiaoxia didn't even dare to look at Ash's natural look. She had been waiting for Serena to help Ash away, but instead, she heard this. How could this work? It's fine if you don't want to play anymore, but who will solve my lifelong happiness? No doubt, she used her persuasive skills again. However, this time, her persuasive skills were completely ineffective on Serena, who had already seen Ash's ridiculous look. No. No. I really can't. Xiaoxia, let's wait. Let Ash wake up, let Ash accept me. Her neck was red with embarrassment, and Serena turned and left without hesitation. Pikachu, damn it. She can't leave. Xiaoxia was anxious, but Mu Chen was even more anxious. Serena's quitting, was he really going to be a 5-minute fun guy for life? Just kidding, he was going to keep her here no matter what. After catching his breath, Mu Chen, who had used thunder to clear his energy, had recovered a little. With this recovery, although Mu Chen couldn't use his ultimate move, a gentle electric shock or a thunder wave wouldn't be a big problem. Serena wasn't Ash, she didn't have that kind of abnormal special defense resistance, so Mu Chen certainly didn't dare use a move like electric shock that might make her down even longer than Ash. Therefore, facing Serena who turned to leave, Mu Chen decisively sent her down with a thunder wave. Zzz, still trying to leave? You'd better stay here. Facing this sneak attack from behind, the unprepared Serena naturally fell to the ground. Pikachu! What are you doing? Misty was stunned as she looked at Serena lying on the ground. Pika, what are you standing there for? You're dragging Serena, I'm dragging Ash, let's get them both into the main house. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 486 The Green Grassland. Huff. Pikachu, what do we do now? After a great deal of effort, Zyanoxia finally managed to drag Ash and Serena into the room. Wiping the sweat from her forehead, she asked Pikachu with a puzzled look. They were indeed dragged in, but the problem was, what next? Zyanoxia admitted she had absolutely no experience with this kind of thing. Pikachu, what to do? Of course, just let it be. Come on, Zyanoxia, hurry up and take Serena's clothes off. Then push them together, and the rest is up to fate. That's right, fate. Mu Chen had exhausted all methods against Ash, this blockhead. The rest was up to fate. If Ash, this idiot, still wanted special training after waking up, then when he found Serena already in position, ready to cooperate, he definitely wouldn't miss it. As for Serena, this girl was already interested, but she backed out at the last minute because of shyness. But Mu Chen didn't care at all. So what if she backed out? I'll give her a hand. Mu Chen knew that as long as he still had the idea of special training after Zhi recovered, Serena definitely wouldn't refuse. Clothes? All of them. Seeing Pikachu make that gesture, Zyanoxia was slightly confused. This was too simple and crude, wasn't it? And, was this really okay? Wouldn't this hurt Serena even more? What if it made her develop a resistance? With these concerns in mind, Zyanoxia dared not directly attack Serena. Pika, what are you doing? Hurry up. Zhi's resistance is too high, who knows when he'll wake up? I can't possibly unleash a second thunderbolt today. After waiting for a long time, Zyanoxia still didn't make a move, and Mu Chen was a little confused. What's going on? Hurry up and do it. Who are you waiting for? Isn't this a bit inappropriate for Pikachu? If it really happens, what will Serena do? Urged again, Zyanoxia disregarded whether this topic was suitable to discuss in front of Serena, who was numb from the electric shock but hadn't lost consciousness, and voiced her concerns to Mu Chen. Pika, holy crap. That's what you're worried about? It's okay. It's okay. Serena is just shy. If it really comes to that, just turn off the lights, close your eyes, and get into the rhythm, right? You can rest assured. Hearing that Zyanoxia's concern was this, Mu Chen understood. What a big deal. Even without us, Serena still runs to Ash's room on her own initiative. She even snuggles into this idiot's arms. This girl just can't get over this hurdle, helping her is definitely no problem. At this moment, neither Mu Chen nor Zyanoxia, who were talking, noticed a look of terror in the eyes of Serena, who was lying on the ground, numb from the electric shock. Accompanying this terror was Serena's already flushed face and neck. As an experienced person, Mu Chen was right about one thing, this kind of thing really wouldn't harm Serena. After all, her heart had already been secretly pledged to him. At most, it was just a girl's shyness and reserve. How could Serena not be terrified when she heard the two of them discussing taking off all her clothes? However, thinking about the scene that would follow, Serena's blushing face was easily understood. Of course, Mu Chen and Zyanoxia were completely unaware of Serena's inner thoughts at this moment. Okay. But Pikachu, you bastard. Get out of here. Do you want to stay here and watch? Finally, Zyanoxia was persuaded. However, what was Pikachu doing, staring intently at Serena? Want to observe and compare? Are you kidding me? Zyanoxia isn't stupid, would she give that bastard Pikachu such an opportunity? When it comes to Pikachu's nature, If Xiaoxia claims to know it second to none, then no one dares to claim to know it first. That bastard. His urging earlier clearly shows he's eager to see some inappropriate content for children. Pika, holy crap. Is it really necessary? Fine, I won't look. Why did you kick me? Kicked by Xiaoxia, Mu Chen turned and left helplessly. Damn it, how come your vigilance is so high? Can't you be careless just once? Give me a chance? Of course, before leaving, Mu Chen absolutely wouldn't forget to cover up all the parts of Xiaoxi's area that needed to be covered. Are you kidding me? I won't look, but my dear Xiaoxia, you can't let yourself be taken advantage of. Serena. I'm so sorry. You know Ash's goofy personality. This time, I'm just helping you out. Watching Pikachu turn and leave, Misty began apologetically to Serena. Serena hadn't lost consciousness. Those big, blinking eyes were fixed on her. Thankfully. What made Misty feel a little better was that when she was about to touch Serena's clothes, the girl's eyes only showed panic and shyness, without any blame. Clearly, just as the experienced driver Mu Chen had predicted, this girl was simply impatient. After a bit of fuss, turning Serena into little naked pig, Misty glanced enviously at the body that was even more developed and healthy than her own, then turned and left. Now, it all depended on how well Ash, that goofy guy, performed. Just as Misty stepped outside, a golden figure appeared before her. Oh my god. Pikachu! You rascal, you scared me to death. What are you doing? A yellow figure suddenly darted out. It was Pikachu, the yellow-skinned mouse. Xiaoxia had thought it was already far away, but it turned out to be guarding the door, startling her. Pika, what was it doing? Spying, of course. Pshaw? Wrong. Never. Of course, it was monitoring that idiot Ash, seeing how well he fared. If you don't keep an eye on things, how will you know if he succeeds or fails? Huh? Pikachu? You mean, we're just going to watch from outside? That's too. Hearing that Pikachu had such a plan, Xiaoxia's pretty face instantly turned red. This was practically dragging her to watch a battle movie. Too exciting, wasn't it? Pika, holy crap. Honey. Did you misunderstand something? When did I say we? Hearing that Xiaoxia had arranging for him to join in, Mu Chen was speechless. I'm going. What are you keeping me here for? If you keep me here, I'll be on edge monitoring you, and this is even worse. The thought of his precious Xiaoxia witnessing Xiaoxi's silly battle made Mu Chen feel like he'd been transported to grassland. Chapter 487 Little friend, I have many questions. Waiting is worthwhile. Xiaoxia and I waited outside Ash's room until the early hours of the morning, and finally, Mu Chen saw hope. Pikachu, Xiaoxia. Hurry. Ash seems to have recovered. After that lightning strike, Mu Chen himself wasn't sure if Ash could withstand it. Who knew if Ash could even hold out? And even if he could, who knew when he'd wake up? If he didn't wake up tonight, this opportunity would be lost. Serena might let you get shocked once, but she absolutely wouldn't let you get shocked a second time. Mu Chen wasn't stupid. This time, Serena herself was tempted. Even after being shocked and stripped, she was shy and timid, with a mix of anticipation and shyness. But the problem is, you can't do this twice. One shock is fine, but another will make her furious. If Serena refuses to cooperate no matter what, who will be the one crying in the end? It will be him, Mu Chen. Therefore, the person most nervous about Ash's silly antics was undoubtedly Mu Chen. Thankfully, just as the sky began to lighten, just as Mu Chen was nearing despair, and just as Xiaoxia was leaning against the wall in a semi-conscious state, Ash finally made a move. Pikachu, what are you doing? I'm so sleepy. Instead of going back to sleep in the middle of the night, he was eavesdropping and doing this sneaky thing. Xiaoxia was speechless. But Pikachu's words were indeed reasonable, and Xiaoxia, who was equally mischievous, certainly wouldn't let it go. What would Ash do in the end? After waiting half the night, Ash still hadn't reacted. Xiaoxia finally couldn't hold on any longer and was about to lean against the wall for a nap when Pikachu shook her awake. Pika, sleep my ass. Look. Ash. Ash is awake. Oh my god. You were the one who wanted to keep it, and you still won't even look at it. Do you know how hard it is for me? Looking at the sleepy-eyed Xiaoxia, Mu Chen could only keep urging her. There was no way around it. Eating alone was delicious, but Mu Chen couldn't afford the consequences if Xiaoxia threw a tantrum afterwards. Ash is awake. Finally, the half-conscious Xiaoxia grasped the key to the problem. Hearing that the silly Ash had woken up, Xiaoxia instantly became wide awake, abandoning her previous dazed state. At this moment, in the room, it was indeed as Mu Chen had said. Ash had recovered from the shock of the thunder. I slept so well. Stretching, Ash started talking to himself. Obviously, this silly guy, relying on his insane special defense resistance, completely ignored the damage caused by the thunder, treating it as a good nap. Right, I remember Pikachu attacked me before. Why did it attack? Serena? What are you doing here? In a daze, Ash started reminiscing. Just as he was still trying to remember why Pikachu attacked him, this idiot finally noticed Serena lying beside him. Seeing Serena back in her natural state, Ash didn't react much, only wondering why she was in his room. Ash had a good sleep, but Serena was definitely not. Struck by electromagnetic waves, Serena was conscious but unable to move. Lying next to Ash like a lamb, Serena couldn't deny feeling embarrassed. Just as dawn was approaching and she thought she could safely pass this stage, Serena suddenly realized Ash had woken up. This made her so ashamed she wanted to turn into a dud and disappear into a hole. However, she was still paralyzed by the electromagnetic waves. Where are my clothes? Serena, yours too? Where did all my clothes go? Did you take them off? Mu Chen swore that if he could, he would electrocute this idiot. Damn it. At this moment, in this situation, little white sheep is already lying there, and you're still paying attention to some damn clothes? Because of the angle, Mu Chen, who was peering out a window, could only see Serena's neck and head. But the specific scene, well, he could still imagine it, right? Just thinking about that scene made Mu Chen want to rush in and kick that idiot Ash aside, then take his place. But when he turned his head and glanced at Misty, whose face was flushed red, Mu Chen could only sigh silently. Ugh, I've really lost out. From his angle, he could only see that idiot Ash, while Misty could see whatever she wanted. The difference between skin and person, is it really that big? Just as Mu Chen was lamenting the injustice of fate while peering out a window, Ash inside the room finally made a move again. Oh right. I remember now. I think I was doing special training before. Then Misty came, and then Pikachu attacked me? Why did it attack me? Clearly, Ash, that silly boy, was still preoccupied with why Pikachu attacked him. Pikachu, hurry up. Get to the point. Seeing Ash react and recall the special training, Mu Chen became excited. But before he could even get excited, Ash, that silly boy, was already preoccupied with why he got electrocuted. Pikachu, don't move. Ash is in trouble. Mu Chen was so angry he jumped around, finally affecting Misty. However, it was precisely because of his jumping around that he missed the most important moment. Forget it. I don't want to think about it anymore. Anyway, Pikachu always attacks me for no reason. Ash's heart is always bigger than the sky. After a slight hesitation, Ash decisively put the question out of his mind. Turning around again, Ash focused his attention on Serena lying beside him. Right. Serena, why are you in my room? And what about your clothes? At this moment, Ash was, to use a popular internet meme, kid, I have so many questions. He was genuinely baffled as to why Serena had inexplicably appeared in his room, even dressed like a little lamb. Finally, after muttering to himself for a while, under Mu Chen's expectant gaze, Ash suddenly realized, I know. Serena. Did you also want to do that special training, so you came to find me? Ha ha ha. It must be. Back then, Aju and Rika's battle training was exactly like this, back to their natural state. After thinking for a while, looking at his own appearance and then at Serena's, Ash finally had a moment of intelligence. Chapter 488 Who wants to watch you practice alone? Pikachu, holy crap. It's here. It's here. It's finally here. Peeking out the window at Ash's actions inside, Mu Chen was excited. Damn it. Do you know how hard this has been for me? How long have I been waiting? You blockhead, you've finally figured it out. Hey. You bastard. Pikachu. What are you doing? Be gentle, you're killing me. While Mu Chen was overjoyed, Xiaoxia was suffering. She had been shyly watching Ash's silly antics, but suddenly Pikachu started scratching her wildly. Xiaoxia wasn't Ash, she wasn't going to take this lying down. Pikachu, an accident. Just an accident. Don't worry about the details, let's keep watching Ash. Let's see what Ash's next move is. At this moment, Ash was just imitating Aju, and didn't do anything too extreme. Even the still-numbed Serena could only stare wide-eyed at Ash with terror. Yes, the expression in Serena's eyes was pure terror. How could Serena not be terrified watching that goofy Ash doing push-ups in that utterly awful, back-to-nature way? Good heavens! Doesn't this kid get tired? He's been doing this up and down for ages. Doesn't his arm get sore? Doesn't his leg hurt? Doesn't all that hitting the ground hurt? Ugh! This still doesn't seem right. Serena, do you remember what we saw? What's going on with those two? Why does everything I do feel off? After all that effort, he wasn't sore, but something just didn't feel right. Why did watching Kiko's special training battle feel so exhilarating? But when it came to himself, it felt so awkward. Unable to find an answer, a helpless Ash could only ask Serena. Serena had witnessed a battle between Kikayo and Blossom, so she must have some different understanding, right? Not to mention Serena was currently unable to speak. Even if she could, she would absolutely not answer Ash's question, which was like a complete idiot's. How could she explain it? Tell her it's wrong? That they should cooperate? How could a girl say that? Pikachu, damn it. How could Ash be so stupid? Help. Seeing Ash practice alone for a while and then stop thinking, Mu Chen initially thought he had finally figured it out and was ready to make his move on Serena. But unexpectedly, after asking, he actually started practicing alone again? Damn it. What the hell was I doing dragging Serena into this? I even went out of my way to get you everything done, including the clothes. Why can't you be more careful? Host, do you need help? Just as Mu Chen was so anxious he wanted to electrocute that idiot Xiao Zhi with a 100,000 volts shock and then personally take action, the system's voice suddenly came from his mind. Pikachu, holy crap. System brother? That's great. You're willing to help me? How? Wait. Damn. No. Let's get this straight. What's the price of helping? Am I supposed to do something again? The system suddenly offered to help him, and Mu Chen couldn't deny being excited. But just as he was getting excited, Mu Chen suddenly realized something. This system, that bastard, never gets up without a fight. Why the hell did this thing suddenly pop up and offer to help? Something's fishy. Definitely fishy. My help is just a suggestion. Don't worry, there's no price to pay this time. And if Xiao Zhi successfully defeats Serena, it will count as you completing a random mission. What the heck? Is the sun rising in the west? Is the system being this helpful today? Hearing the system's reply, Mu Chen still couldn't believe it. This is such a windfall, and it's happening to him? This is a bit unrealistic, isn't it? But how could Mu Chen know? In the normal timeline, Xiao Zhi would have remained stubborn his whole life, and Serena was ultimately persuaded to give up by this stubborn guy. Now, the best opportunity to break the timeline has arrived, and even the system can't sit still. If this stubborn guy Xiao Zhi defeats Serena, then the timeline of this world will undergo an irreversible change. At that time, the help to the system in restoring its strength will be enormous. Mu Chen still owes him 2 random missions. Using the price of 1 random mission to trick this guy into giving Xiao Zhi a boost, adding fuel to the fire, and increasing the chance of breaking the timeline, this deal is a sure win for the system. Pikachu, Mu Chen had no idea how the system was calculating. However, Mu Chen wasn't stupid. After some mental calculations, it seemed that no matter how Mu Chen calculated it, it wouldn't be a loss for him. Since it wouldn't be a loss, what was wrong with agreeing? Come on. System, hurry up and give me some hints on how to help this blockhead. I don't want to see him practicing push-ups all night. Host, if Ash can't remember, you can have Serena remind him. Serena is currently paralyzed by you, so she can't speak. As long as you give Serena some stimulation, she will recover from the paralysis. As for the rest, well, that's up to your fate. These kinds of things are always consensual. If you really have to force it, it's a man against a woman. Although the system was also very eager for Ash to win over Serena, there wasn't much it could do. If Ash wasn't willing, even if you forcibly resolved it by trapping him, wouldn't he still end up the same? The system wanted to break the timeline, not help Ash have a farewell night. Pikachu, good idea. I'll give it a try. Serena, that little girl, is absolutely devoted to Ash. Receiving the system's notification, Mu Chen immediately perked up. Letting Serena take the initiative is better than watching that idiot Ash do push-ups, right? Without hesitation, ignoring Misty, who had already run off to keep watch, Mu Chen tiptoed back into Ash's room. Zzzzz. A gentle electric current was sent out, and seeing Serena tremble slightly, Mu Chen knew that the girl had regained her mobility. Ash, do you remember that special training before? They seemed to be hugging each other. Having regained her mobility, Serena gathered her emotions and finally uttered some very powerful words. Chapter 489. The main quest that isn't complete yet. Pikachu, system. You come out here, you bastard. Where's my reward? Did Ash finally win over Serena? Why isn't my main quest complete yet? Angry. Extremely angry. After going through so much trouble, I finally got to this point, and the main quest isn't even complete? How can I stand this? Yes, at this moment, Ash had indeed won over Serena. After Serena recovered from her paralysis, this girl hardened her heart and, for the sake of future happiness, completely abandoned all her damn restraint and directly activated the active guidance mode. Under Serena's guidance, Ash naturally began to imitate the battle between Pikachu and Rinka. The imitation began, and before long, Ash inexplicably said goodbye to his past and stepped into the adult world. A sudden sensory experience came over him. Although Ash didn't know the specific reason, he was still a normal person after all. Whether it was comfortable or not, Ash, this blockhead, knew to some extent. Comfortable and able to undergo special training, Ash, that goofball, naturally put in even more effort. When the actual battle began, Misty, being a girl, was too embarrassed to watch. Ignoring the yellow-skinned mouse that claimed to be monitoring Ash's progress, Misty practically sprinted back to her room. With Misty gone, Mu Chen watched even more confidently and without restraint. He was thoroughly enjoying himself. Last time, the battle between AG and Rinka was too far away, and Mu Chen missed many details. This time, Ash, that goofball, made up for Mu Chen's previous regret. But the problem was, after the battle, when Mu Chen eagerly awaited the main quest completion notification and the sound of his advancement, he was embarrassed. 1 minute passed, 10 minutes passed, 20 minutes passed. Finally, Mu Chen couldn't bear it any longer. What the hell is going on? Where are my quest rewards? This isn't even considered main quest completion? Host, your main quest is not fully completed, so the reward cannot be issued. Finally, after Mu Chen jumped up and down urging him, the system's voice came out. Pikachu, what the hell? Not fully completed? Damn it. This isn't fully completed? Come on. Come on. Tell me, what exactly constitutes fully completed? Do we have to wait until Serena gets pregnant, or even gives birth to little Ash, before it's considered complete? Let me tell you, if you don't get this straight today, I'm not finished with you. When it comes to his main quest, his own interests, and his happy future, Mu Chen has absolutely no intention of compromising. What the hell? It's already bloodied and it's still not complete. What, you want that idiot Ash to get a double kill? Faced with a rogue like Mu Chen, the system remained silent. Pikachu, hurry up. Don't play dead. Don't say you didn't see it. Hurry up, you have to explain this to me today. The main quest isn't complete? Are you kidding me? Mu Chen knew that if you didn't push the system, it would just play hard to get. Many things required showing a firm stance to secure the benefits one wanted. Host, do you think Ash fully understands what he's doing? Probably, he still thinks it's a rather special training method, right? And the quest requires helping Ash, this idiot, find a partner. Do you think that counts as a partner? After a long silence, the system finally replied to Mu Chen. Clearly, the system's silence was because it was busy organizing its thoughts to convince this shameless Mu Chen. Pikachu, holy crap. You can do that? Then what do you want me to do? Explain to me clearly, what level of partnership is required? What constitutes completing the quest? Hearing the system's explanation, Mu Chen was speechless. This, it seemed, was truly unassailable. Although the system didn't say much, every word was reasonable. What did Zhao Zhi, that idiot, know? But how to deal with this partner thing? This isn't a partner? Then what is? Marriage? Having kids? Or what? Mu Chen suddenly realized that if he wanted to gain any benefit from the system, he had to understand this word game, otherwise he would be the one who suffered. Host, a partner, naturally, requires two people to truly love each other. Just like you and Xiaoxia, I can classify you as a partner. As for Xiao Zhi's current running buddies, that's more like a partner. What do you think? This explanation was very clear. Obviously, the system wanted genuine love, and it wanted Xiao Zhi, that idiot, to understand, not just physical understanding. These were completely different concepts. Hearing the system's reply, Mu Chen was utterly at a loss. What could he do? Whose fault was it? Blame Xiao Zhi, that idiot? Or blame himself for not understanding the true meaning of this mission? Although Mu Chen had accepted the system's explanation in his heart, given his greedy nature, he still had to demand something. Pikachu, okay. Now I understand. System, I'm telling you, you didn't explain this mission clearly before, but you can't entirely blame me, can you? You saw how hard I worked for that idiot Ash. Now that we've come this far, shouldn't you give me something in return? Whatever, anything free is fine. Anyway, for Mu Chen, as long as the system gives him anything, he'll definitely be satisfied. Speechless again. Faced with this shameless Mu Chen, the system felt that if it continued to stay with him for a few more years, even if its strength recovered, it would be driven mad. Pikachu, give me a reply. I haven't done anything great, but I've put in the effort, haven't I? Give me something in return, right? Alright, then today I'll give you an extra 3 minutes of transformation time. Pikachu, what, 3 minutes? What's that enough for? Even adding the 5 minutes I hadn't used yet, it's only 8 minutes. System, can't you be a little more generous? Unfortunately, this time, no matter how much Mu Chen called out, the system didn't respond at all. Pikachu, damn it. Picking his nose. Mu Chen was extremely dissatisfied with the extra reward the system gave him. What the hell is the use of these extra 3 minutes? Lingzi has disappeared. What the hell can I do with this? Chapter 490 Special Training. Pikachu, what the hell is going on? Mu Chen, still feeling extremely frustrated, left Ash's room after the battle and returned to Misty's room. But to his surprise, he was stunned the moment he entered. What the hell is going on? My precious Misty, what's wrong with you? What are you doing here? Seeing Misty's blushing face and her hands idly placed in inappropriate places, even the experienced Mu Chen didn't react immediately. Pikachu suddenly burst in, startling Misty from her own world. Pikachu, holy crap. Be gentle, you scared me to death. The sudden scream almost made Mu Chen fall over. Pikachu, why are you back? When did you get back? Frantically tidying her not too messy clothes, Misty's face was filled with tension and embarrassment. Pikachu, what does that mean? Can't I come back? Mu Chen was extremely dissatisfied with Xiaoxia's questioning. What the hell? What have I been up to all night for? It's all for you, for our future happy life. Why can't I even sleep in? And what's with reporting to you? Mu Chen expressed his extreme dissatisfaction with Xiaoxia's questioning. But just after venting his frustration, a sudden flash of inspiration struck him. Holy crap! Wait a minute. Let me think about it. It seems that when I first came in, my precious Xiaoxia was doing something quite amusing on her own. Damn! That shouldn't be the case. Xiaoxia isn't that kind of person. Why would she suddenly be doing something amusing? Could it be? Another flash of inspiration struck Mu Chen, and he understood. Xiaoxia's sudden reaction must be because she saw that idiot Xiaozi fighting with Serena, which is why she acted this way. This time, Mu Chen's guess was pretty accurate. Xiaoxia and Mu Chen had almost reached their goal in one step, although it was ruined by that idiot Xiao Zhi. However, the seed had already been planted in Xiaoxia's heart. If nothing had happened, Xiaoxia wouldn't be in this situation. The seed might have even faded away. But the problem is, after witnessing that epic battle between that idiot Xiao Zhi and Serena today, the seed has sprouted. You see, while technology is advanced in this world, the entertainment industry is far inferior to Mu Chen's original world. To Mu Chen, the battle between that idiot Xiao Zhi and Serena was nothing special. But this was incredibly exciting for Xiaoxia. Because of this, Xiaoxia, who rushed back to her room, could no longer suppress the budding desire. The scene she had witnessed kept replaying in her mind, even the image of Pikachu as a handsome human kept flashing through her mind, leading to the scene before her. Pikachu. You absolutely cannot tell anyone what you saw today. Otherwise, I will never speak to you again. She was still a girl after all. Having Pikachu witness such an embarrassing thing, Zaya-Aksha wished she could disappear into a crack in the ground. Of course, before disappearing, threats were a must. If this got out, Zaya-Aksha would truly be finished. Pika, don't worry, baby, your husband isn't stupid. Just kidding. Even without Zaya-Aksha's threats, Mu Chen would absolutely not say a word. This was his woman, it would be crazy to tell anyone. As a mature and responsible man, Mu Chen not only wouldn't tell anyone, but he also intended to help his precious Zaya-Aksha. Are you kidding me? Watching my precious little darling helplessly relying on me? Is that something a real man would do, at this moment? Mu Chen was inwardly thanking the system's ancestors for 8 generations. System, oh system, you're so damn awesome, you're practically my sweet little cotton-padded jacket. Without the system's 3-minute bonus, Mu Chen only had 5 minutes of transformation time. With such a short transformation time, it would be really difficult to do anything enjoyable. But with these extra 3 minutes, Mu Chen was much more relaxed. At least, I went from a 5-point man to an 8-point man, right? That's a qualitative change. Pikachu. Are you even listening to me? While Mu Chen was busy thanking the system, Zaya-Aksha was indignant. This thing wasn't answering her, just muttering incoherently. What was the meaning of this? Was it trying to threaten her with this? Pika, oh dear, Zaya-Aksha, why are you in such a hurry? Shouldn't I get my emotions in check first? Awakened by Zaya-Aksha, Mu Chen snapped out of his thank you to the system state at noon. No doubt, the emotions were built up, and Zaya-Aksha was readily available, so he wouldn't hold back. Making his decision, and ignoring Zaya-Aksha's reaction, Mu Chen decisively activated his transformation technique. The yellow-skinned mouse vanished, and a handsome blonde male protagonist made a dazzling entrance. What are you doing? After a series of muttered ramblings, followed by the sudden transformation, Zaya-Aksha was a little confused. PPFFT. What am I doing? My darling Zaya-Aksha, what do you think I'm doing? I just happened to be rewarded by the gods with 3 minutes today, giving me a total of 8 minutes of transformation time. Let's give them some special training. With that, Mu Chen pounced like a hungry tiger. Ah! You bastard! Get away from me! Faced with this sudden attack, Zaya-Aksha instinctively began to resist. Baby Xia, stop struggling. I'm short on time. We'll talk about it after the special training. Ignoring Xia's resistance, Mu Chen sent the panicked girl flying with a frantic grab. In the early hours of the morning, just as Xiao Zhi's battle was over, Mu Chen started again. Xia, Selina, early in the morning, 2 girls, disheveled and with messy hair, emerged from their rooms. Seeing their best friend's appearance, and then looking down at their own, the 2 girls were embarrassed. Well, it seems something happened between them last night. Selina, I feel this special training is quite effective. Shall we continue training tonight? Xiao Zhi, the ever-ambitious Blue Sky, was oblivious to the girl's embarrassment. He invited Selina as soon as he woke up. Pikachu, holy crap. No doubt about it, the special training was absolutely top-notch. Baby Xia, shall we continue tonight? For the first time, Mu Chen discovered that he and Xiao Zhi, that silly guy, were actually so in sync. Chapter 491 The Clever Mu Chen? It's Ash from the Kanto region, please accept my challenge. After a night of turmoil, Ash, that goofy guy, was full of energy and challenged the Silver League Elite Four member again. His opponent this time was none other than Blossom, who had battled Kikayo the previous night. Looking at the incredibly alluring Blossom before him, Mu Chen, who had also been up half the night, was still incredibly excited. Misty is my precious darling, I won't comment on her. But thinking about Blossom now, her skills are really good. Of course, Mu Chen only thought about this and would never tell anyone. Mu Chen would absolutely not participate in the battle. After all, Ash, that goofy guy, and Lecious, the dragon sister. Comfortably nestled in Misty's arms, Mu Chen was currently talking to the system. Pikachu, system, how do I know when Ash's mission is truly complete? I've already helped him say goodbye to his bachelor night, what more do you want? Don't tell me you have to make him marry Serena. Then I'm not playing anymore, everything else is fine, but if it really means marrying Shalina, Mu Chen would truly collapse. While both men and women develop very early in this world, Marriage and being boyfriend and girlfriend are completely different things. If he has to wait until Ash gets married, wouldn't that be 5, 7, or 8 years? Having already taken the final step with Misty, Mu Chen is now extremely eager to obtain his true transformation ability. 5 minutes isn't enough, not even 8 minutes yesterday. Just thinking about Misty's disdainful look makes Mu Chen feel incredibly hurt. It's all fake, that's not my true power. However, explaining is futile. Mu Chen knows he must speak with facts. That's precisely why Mu Chen is so eager to complete the mission. Host, Ash hasn't developed real feelings for Serena yet. Your mission will be complete the moment Ash truly falls in love with Serena. The system quickly responded to Mu Chen's question. Pikachu, what? Say that again. Really fall in love? Does Ash, this blockhead, even know what real love is? Are you kidding me? Hearing the system say this, Mu Chen was furious. Knowing Ash as he was, if his special training was a difficulty level of 10, then making him understand what real love is would be a difficulty level of 100. This entire difficulty level 10 special training had already taken so long, how could a difficulty level 100 real love possibly kill Mu Chen? Extremely agitated, Mu Chen unconsciously started to twist and turn. However, his twisting caused Misty to misunderstand. You quick draw man, can't you behave yourself? If you want to cause trouble, we'll talk about it tonight. At first, SYNOPSIS said this with anger. But as she spoke, she became embarrassed. Pika, what the hell? Quick draw man? Damn it. Uncle can tolerate it, but Auntie can't. As a standard tough guy and a stay-at-home dad, Mu Chen absolutely couldn't stand SYNOPSIS' evaluation. This was a matter of a man's dignity. Pika, system, did you hear that? Come out here. Ignoring SYNOPSIS, the furious Mu Chen called out to the system again. System, listen to this. Listen to what my SYNOPSIS said about me. No, this absolutely can't be left like this. Mu Chen's rogue mode was activated again, and the system habitually adopted a cold and aloof demeanor. Pika, don't play dead with me, we need an explanation today. I've at least completed half of this task. Right? I don't need you to mark it as complete, but at least give me half the transformation time, okay? 8 minutes is really not enough time to do anything. This was the biggest reason why Mu Chen was being looked down upon. If he was looked down upon for 8 minutes, what would he do with only 5 minutes from now on? Just thinking about SYNOPSIS' disdainful eyes and mocking words, Mu Chen knew that if he couldn't make a change, he would be cemented as a quick shooter. Sorry, host, your task is not completed, and the reward cannot be issued. Pikachu, damn it, I'm not playing anymore. If you're so capable, why don't you make Ash understand it yourself? It's like asking a horse to run but not feeding it. When has Mu Chen ever suffered such a loss? Host, actually, there is a solution. Seeing that Mu Chen was about to give up, the system knew it had gone too far. After all, it's not something most people can accept for a grown man to be looked down upon because of his time. Pikachu, what solution? Why didn't you say so earlier? Are you kidding me? Hearing the system suddenly change its tone and say there was a solution, Mu Chen got excited. Why didn't you say so earlier? I'm stuck here getting anxious. What is this? Host, if you agree, the rewards from random missions you complete in the future can be exchanged for an increase in temporary transformation time, in short, an equivalent exchange. The system's intentions were very clear. You don't want transformation time anymore? Okay? Complete random missions. I won't increase your strength, I'll give you transformation time instead. Pikachu, holy crap. You can do that? That's great. Hearing the system say this, Mu Chen's eyes lit up. If that's the case, my special training with SYNOPSIS in the future won't be looked down upon anymore? Wait. There's a problem. There's definitely a problem. After the initial excitement, Mu Chen suddenly realized something was wrong. This system, can it really be this kind? The system's primary goal after completing tasks was to break the timeline and restore its own strength. Mu Chen knew that their relationship was, frankly, mutually exploitative. Mu Chen absolutely didn't believe the system would suddenly become benevolent. Pikachu, system, how about this? From now on, add a temporary extension option for transformation time to my roulette wheel. HMPH, I'm a genius. This way, my strength improvement won't be delayed, and if I occasionally win, I can even do some special training with SYNOPSIS. Just thinking about that wonderful life made Mu Chen swoon. No problem, it's settled then. The system agreed to Mu Chen's suggestion without hesitation. This idiot, it originally said it would give you a one-time strength boost when a fierce battle was needed, but you insisted on taking it one step at a time? Of course, the system would never tell this to the excited yellow-skinned mouse in Xiaoxia's arms. Chapter 492 I'm going to fight two of them. Damn it, Pikachu. It's your turn now. Ash's familiar command rang out again. The battle against Rico was still a 3-on-3 duel. While Mu Chen was negotiating with the system, Ash had already defeated 2 Pokémon in a row. Although Latias was powerful, Rico's preferred type was Dark, which was perfect against Latias's psychic ability. After using Latias and Melodic, Ash had only managed to take down Rico's first Pokémon, Murkrow. Facing Rico's second Pokémon, Umbreon, Ash could only place his last hope on Pikachu. Pika, damn it. What a useless piece of trash. Could he let me just sit back and watch for a little while longer? The first half of last night was a chaotic mess, and the second half was a short but intense training session with Misty. Mu Chen really wasn't in the mood to think about battles. Unfortunately, the main quest wasn't finished yet, and for the sake of a happy future, Mu Chen could only continue to coax him. Pikachu. After a few complaints, Mu Chen lazily darted out of Xiaoxia's arms at a near slow pace. System, excuse me, is today's match with this Pear Blossom considered a random quest? He still owed the system a random quest. If he didn't repay it soon, what would he do about future random quests? Before, Mu Chen would have been indifferent to this random quest, taking a whatever happens approach. But now, damn it. If I could draw transformation time that temporarily extended by one night, I'd torture this little girl to death, showing her what a real man is. Constrained by the transformation time limit, Mu Chen ended the battle in 8 minutes, ultimately feeling deeply hurt by Xiaoxia's disdainful gaze. A real man gets back up from where he fell. Mu Chen knew explanations were useless, so he could only let the facts speak for themselves. Host, normally, this battle with Rika is just a regular match, so there are no random missions available. What the hell? None? Seriously, is this some kind of scam? Hearing the system say there were none, Mu Chen's already low fighting spirit completely died down. However, if you insist, there is room for negotiation. What the hell? Why are you talking so casually? His fighting spirit had completely vanished, and Mu Chen was ready to just go through the motions and be KO'd. But unexpectedly, this system was teasing him. Pikachu, hurry up, how so? Tell me. After a few minor complaints, Mu Chen quickly focused his attention on this so-called room for negotiation. Whatever, as long as it's a random mission, that's enough. I'll complete your random mission today, and our debts will be even. A happy life in the future won't be far away, right? Host, Rinko is a rare Dark-type Elite Four member. This random mission is that you must challenge Rinko's remaining 2 Dark-type Pokémon simultaneously. Moreover, when you win this 1-on-2 challenge against these 2 Pokémon, you not only need to defeat them, but also instill fear in these Dark-type Pokémon towards you. In other words, you need to let them know who the real villain is. What the hell? Is this even possible? System, are you sure you're not messing with me? Making me fight 2 against 1 is bad enough, but with all this weird stuff? Let them know what the real villain is? How am I supposed to let them know? I'm a good person. A civilized person. I'm not a villain. Mu Chen was completely baffled by this random mission from the system. What kind of mission is this? How am I supposed to complete it? Let the enemy know who the real villain is? Damn it. The mission has already been issued, and the system has gone into a cool, aloof state and disappeared. Mu Chen could only accept it. There was no other way. For the sake of future happiness, and to prove himself a real man to Xiaoxia, Mu Chen could only selectively ignore these details. But now, looking at the swaggering Umbreon in the arena, Mu Chen turned his backside and pounced on Xiaoxia again. Huh? Pikachu, what's wrong with you? Let's battle. Seeing Pikachu reach the edge of the arena and immediately engage in battle with the Umbreon, but unexpectedly, Pikachu suddenly turned around and stopped playing. Seeing this, Ash was naturally shocked. What a joke, you're my only Pokémon. If you don't play, won't I, Ash, suffer my first defeat in the Johto region? Everything else is fine, but when it comes to battle, Ash never gives up easily. Especially not in such a strange way. Pika Pika, idiot, what's the rush? Shouldn't I try to communicate? Ignoring Ash's anxious face, Mu Chen waved his short arms repeatedly, gesturing wildly at Xiaoxia. There was no way Ash could grasp concepts on his own. Mu Chen's gesturing would be exhausting. Huh? Pikachu? You mean, you want to fight two at the same time? Seeing Pikachu's rapid-fire gestures, Xiaoxia, who knew the dog very well, instantly understood its intention. But what was it saying? Fighting one wasn't enough, it wanted to fight two at once? What was it doing? Did it get humiliated last night and want to get revenge? Idiot. It's only a matter of time before I despise you, not your fighting ability. Xiaoxia knew Pikachu's formidable fighting power, of course. Did she really need to let it demonstrate this to her? Looking at the serious-looking Pikachu, Xiaoxia helplessly rubbed her forehead. Just as Xiaoxia was about to dissuade Pikachu and tell him to stop, Xiaoxia burst in. What? Pikachu, you say you want to battle two Pokémon at the same time? Ha ha ha. Great. As expected of my Pokémon? Hearing Xiaoxia's exclamation and seeing Pikachu's battle-ready expression, Xiaoxia instantly understood. You see, when it comes to battle, Xiaoxia is absolutely sharp. Elite Four member. Besides Umbreon, you have another Pokémon left? Then, please summon it too. My Pikachu will take on two at once. Ignoring Xiaoxia and Pikachu's reactions, Xiaoxia excitedly muttered to himself and immediately strode confidently towards Elite Four member. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 493 Unfavorable Battle Situation. Ash, of course, insisted on having Pikachu fight two opponents at once, which infuriated Rika. You're the champion of Kanto, but I'm the king of Johto. How dare you look down on me like that? This is just too disrespectful. In her anger, Rika naturally had no objection to Ash's request. She was just going through the motions, casually playing a game with him, but he insisted on being humiliated. Huh? Fine, let's do it. 2 against 1, the furious Rika didn't think she would lose. After all, her Umbreon and Houndoom were champion-level Pokémon. Gura, Awu, Rika was furious, and the 2 champion-level Pokémon she summoned were equally furious. Any champion-level Pokémon possessed extreme pride. And now, they were being forced to team up against a yellow-skinned rat? This was a tremendous humiliation for them as well. Pika Pika, what a load of nonsense. You got a problem with that? Umbreon and Houndoom felt utterly humiliated, but Mu Chen didn't care. What the hell? A couple of howls, who are they trying to scare? Let's finish this quickly, I'm exhausted from yesterday and need to rest. If this were back in Kanto, and Mu Chen had faced 2 Elite 4 level opponents simultaneously, he would have been cursing. But now, 2 Elite 4 level Pokémon were nothing to Mu Chen. Pikachu. Let's battle. Use Thunderbolt. Mu Chen ignored the pressure from the 2 Elite 4 level opponents, and Ash was completely clueless about what this pressure was. In Ash's eyes, his starter Pokémon, Pikachu, was the epitome of invincibility. HMPH. Arrogant. Umbreon, you handle the close combat, charge in and use feint. Houndoom, you attack from a distance, use flamethrower to help Umbreon restrain Pikachu. Rika wasn't unfamiliar with double battles, she had plenty of experience in this area. However, this 2 against 1 situation was also a first for Rika. Gura, receiving Rika's command, the enraged Umbreon attacked first. With an angry roar, its entire body transformed into a black lightning bolt, charging towards the lazy Pikachu. Awu, Umbreon charged, and Houndoom was equally unwilling to be outdone. Roaring, Houndoom opened its mouth wide and unleashed a powerful fire-type jet at Pikachu. Pika Pika, you 2 trash, today I'll show you what the difference is. With his opponents already attacking, Mu Chen couldn't continue posing. If you were to fail because of posing, that wouldn't be bad enough, it would be incredibly embarrassing. He was already being looked down upon by Misty. If he lost face in battle, Mu Chen would truly have no face left to live with. Without a doubt, with his high-speed movement, Mu Chen sidestepped, dodging Houndoom's flamethrower that arrived first after being launched later. Pikachu, ZZZZZ, you little punk, trying to fight me hand-to-hand? I'll give you the chance. Dodging the flamethrower and ignoring the shockwave from the explosion behind him, Mu Chen unleashed a thunderbolt at the oncoming Umbreon. Mu Chen thought that with the electric ball's enhancement, this thunderbolt, as thick as a calf, would easily take down Umbreon. However, Mu Chen quickly realized that he had overestimated things. Boom, gurgle, having withstood a thunderbolt, Umbreon seemed unaffected, instead increasing its charging speed. Pikachu, what the hell? What the hell? So resilient? Seeing that Umbreon, whose size wasn't much bigger than his, could ignore his thunderbolt, Mu Chen was dumbfounded. Holy crap! This is too unbelievable. With my current 100,000 volts, even if you summon a legendary Pokémon, it wouldn't be so easily ignored, right? However, how could Mu Chen know that Umbreon's attack power wasn't particularly strong? Its true strength lay in its despair-inducingly high defense and special defense. A typical Umbreon's defense and special defense were already terrifying, let alone this being Rika's main Pokémon. Mu Chen's 100,000 volts only caused Umbreon a slight pain, not enough to cause any real damage. As the saying goes, carelessness leads to disaster. While Mu Chen didn't have any major setbacks to lose, he paid the price for his carelessness. Umbreon withstood 100,000 volts, something Mu Chen hadn't anticipated. This meant he wasn't adequately prepared for Umbreon's sudden attack. Bang! Pikachu, hit hard by Umbreon, Mu Chen let out a painful cry. Damn it! We're all civilized people, what the hell are you doing? Having spent the entire night tossing and turning, Mu Chen's arms and legs were already exhausted. Now, after being rammed hard by Umbreon, the soreness was overwhelming. Good job, Umbreon. Charge. Use Bite. Houndoom, keep using Flamethrower to restrict Pikachu's movement, HMPH. 1 against 2. Well, today I'll teach you a lesson, and show you that bragging isn't all that great. Seeing Umbreon successfully knock down Pikachu, Rika's momentum was even stronger than before. Pikachu. Counterattack. At this moment, Ash finally realized something was wrong. This 1 against 2 wasn't as easy as he thought. Umbreon was tough and could completely ignore Pikachu's Thunderbolt. Houndoom's Flamethrower was relentlessly bombarding Pikachu, restricting its movement. Seeing Pikachu struggling to dodge under their combined attack, Ash panicked. Chapter 494. A way to break the stalemate. Pikachu, damn it. You think I'm a ball if I don't unleash my power? After being repeatedly rammed by Umbreon and constantly harassed by Houndoom, Mu Chen was furious. What the hell am I? I'm a champion Pokémon. I'm Pikachu. You Elite 4 level trash, what are you trying to prove to me? With his constant victories, Mu Chen had developed a certain arrogance. But unexpectedly, today, facing this combination of Umbreon and Houndoom, Mu Chen actually suffered a slight setback. In reality, Umbreon's attack power wasn't particularly strong. Even with Mu Chen's small arms and legs, he could withstand a few attacks from Umbreon without much harm. But the problem was, this thing was just too damn resilient. Mu Chen couldn't even remember how many times he used Thunderbolt on Umbreon, but the result was just a tickle. At most, he could give this guy a perm and change his hairstyle. This feeling of powerlessness was something Mu Chen had never experienced before, except perhaps with Ash. As for the Houndoom that kept using Flamethrower on him, while its attack power was decent, Mu Chen didn't take it seriously. Pikachu. Counter. Use Electric Ball. Mu Chen was furious, and Ash was equally anxious. Watching Pikachu tumbling around the field, constantly being attacked at close range by Umbreon and harassed from afar by Houndoom, Ash almost lost control and rushed in to double-team Pikachu. Pika, did you need to tell me? What the hell would Electric Ball do? Umbreon's special defense resistance was absolutely despair-inducing. Thunderbolt was just a tickle, Electric Ball would probably be useless. As for the Mega Electric Ball after charging? Damn. Mu Chen wanted to use it. But the problem was, with Houndoom's constant harassment, Mu Chen simply didn't have a chance to charge it up. Ignoring Ash's commands, Mu Chen decided to change tactics. Damn it, this Umbreon is tough and resilient, I don't understand it. I refuse to believe that Houndoom is just as durable. Rika's strategy was clear, Umbreon tank in front, while Houndoom attacks from a distance. Now, Mu Chen's task was to disrupt Rika's tactics and change this extremely unfavorable situation. He acted immediately. Without hesitation, ignoring the pouncing Umbreon, Mu Chen, enhanced by his high-speed movement, Decisively activated quick attack. Houndoom. Back off, use smoke screen. Umbreon, use quick attack, catch up with Pikachu. Seeing Pikachu suddenly change its target and charge at Houndoom, Rika quickly reacted. Clearly, as a champion-level trainer, Rika not only had extensive special training experience, but also incredibly rich experience in Pokémon Battle Command. Pika Pika, what the hell? Trying to run away? Hearing Li Hua's command, Mu Chen knew he had guessed correctly. This Houndoom was indeed the key to breaking the deadlock. Confirming his choice was correct, Mu Chen no longer hesitated. His short legs thrashed about wildly, completely ignoring the howling Umbreon chasing after him. Mu Chen focused all his attention on the Houndoom using smoke screen. Idiot. You think you can't hit me just because you've used smoke screen? Watching the Houndoom gradually disappear into the smoke, Mu Chen sneered repeatedly. Damn it, today I'll show you what a carpet bombing attack looks like. Pikachu, zzzzz. Electricity surged, sparks leaped. Having confirmed the Houndoom's last hiding place, Mu Chen decisively unleashed a thunderbolt attack. Ha ha ha. Useless. Don't be naive. Seeing Pikachu blindly attacking the Houndoom already hidden in the smoke, Li Hua laughed wildly. Are you kidding me? Do you think my Houndoom is stupid? Does it think it can't dodge in the smoke? Zzzzz. Zzzzz. However, just as Rika was smugly mocking her, sparks of electricity crackled again on Pikachu's cheeks as it ran. With each leap of sparks, a barrage of thunderbolts rained down on different spots in the smoke like a series of cannon shots. Boom. 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 Ow. Finally, under Mu Chen's almost relentless, mindless bombardment, the Houndoom hiding in the smoke was hit. What? Damn it. Umbreon, speed up, entangle Pikachu. With Houndoom hit, Rika finally panicked. If Houndoom was defeated first, relying solely on the incredibly resilient but weakly offensive Umbreon, the hope of defeating this Pikachu would be slim. If it were a one-on-one fight, Rika wouldn't care much about winning or losing, she'd just be going through the motions with Ash, that idiot. But if it turned into a 2-on-1 and she still lost, that would be incredibly embarrassing. Gurgle, Umbreon was enraged by its companion being attacked. Its desperate pursuit had resulted in Pikachu still managing to harm the Houndoom it was protecting. This was a huge blow to Umbreon's pride. Pika Pika, you better shut up. A thunderbolt hit Houndoom, but that wasn't enough for Mu Chen. That bastard was at least a champion-level creature, even if its physique wasn't great, it shouldn't be taken down by his instant thunderbolt. Seeing that Umbreon had actually charged forward again, the enraged Mu Chen decisively turned around and unleashed a thunder wave at the oncoming Umbreon. Damn it, you're not afraid of 100,000 volts, but what about electromagnetic waves? We're not even expecting to attack you, just keeping you quiet is enough. Gura, having been enduring Pikachu's attacks head-on, Umbreon was completely unprepared for this sudden electromagnetic wave. The electromagnetic wave entered its body, instantly causing paralysis, and Umbreon became extremely anxious. Umbreon, don't panic. Use toxic, electromagnetic wave? A disruptive move? HMPH. You think you're the only one who knows that? Originally, Rika planned to continue wearing down Pikachu's stamina. Once Pikachu's stamina was significantly reduced, she would use the extremely vicious toxic move. However, Umbreon had already been hit by the electromagnetic wave, and if it didn't use it quickly, Pikachu would soon be far behind. Gura, following Rika's command, Umbreon, ignoring its paralysis, unleashed a dense cloud of poison gas at the yellow-skinned rat in front of it. Chapter 495 A Journey of Sparks and Lightning. Pikachu, damn it. What a dirty trick. Umbreon suddenly changed its previous melee style, unleashing a toxic attack that emitted a strong, foul stench. Seeing this, Mu Chen panicked. Toxic was no joke. If he got hit, even a legendary Pokémon, let alone a beginner like him, would be crippled. Of course, generally speaking, toxic, with its extremely slow attack speed, is difficult to hit. However, this toxic was hard for Mu Chen to dodge. Umbreon, enduring the interference of the electronic waves, blocked Mu Chen's retreat. Within the smoke screen, Houndoom, which had been relentlessly attacked by Mu Chen's thunderbolt, launched a counterattack at the same time. Seeing the flames whooshing out of the smoke, Mu Chen, with his small frame, also dared not take the hit head-on. At this moment, Mu Chen was truly forced into a dilemma. Pikachu, watch out, Ash, who was watching and directing the battle, naturally noticed Mu Chen's predicament. Seeing Houndoom block Mu Chen's movement space, Umbreon suddenly unleashed a toxic attack, causing Ash to panic. If Pikachu were to be hit by toxic, there would be no hope of winning this match. Haha. Don't struggle, you can't dodge it. In a one-on-one fight, Umbreon's toxic wouldn't have a chance to hit Pikachu. But this wasn't a one-on-one fight. With Houndoom helping to block Pikachu's movement space, the toxic attack was guaranteed to hit accurately. Rika knew that as long as Pikachu was hit by toxic, the outcome of this match would be decided. Although she was fighting 2 against 1, it wasn't her choice, and Ash would be the one to lose and feel embarrassed, wouldn't he? Pika can dodge. You underestimate me. Normally, facing this incredibly insidious toxic, Mu Chen really didn't have much room to dodge. If any other Pokémon were present, they would definitely be hit. But Mu Chen wouldn't do that. Leaving aside the fact that his strength far surpasses those so-called ordinary Pokémon, his intelligence and on-the-spot reaction ability are simply on a different level. Ash, that idiot, only kept reminding him to be careful, without offering any truly effective commands. However, Mu Chen didn't care at all. No room to dodge? HMPH. Just watch, today I'll show you what it means to splash and lightning all the way. Acting on his thoughts was always Mu Chen's most outstanding quality. Zzz. Without a doubt, the instant Mu Chen made his decision, sparks of electricity began to dance and leap across his cheeks. Pikachu, ignoring the Umbreon behind him, ignoring the toxic smoke it spewed, and ignoring all the fire-type attacks coming his way, Mu Chen unleashed an instantaneous thunderbolt in midair. Immediately, with a powerful push from its short legs, Mu Chen leaped onto the 100,000 volts it had unleashed. What? How is this possible? Ha ha ha. That's amazing. Pikachu. Well done. Rika's exclamation and Ash's excited shouts rang out almost simultaneously. Everyone present was stunned, watching the yellow mouse walking on electricity. While most of them knew about Pikachu's ability to walk on electricity either from battle videos or first-hand experience, the problem was, in the previous videos, Pikachu had only used electric shocks intermittently or jumped and stomped on lightning. But now? This Pikachu. It was actually running on 100,000 volts of electricity. Judging by its speed, while it couldn't surpass the speed of 100,000 volts of flight, it was just enough to keep up. It could be said that Pikachu is truly walking on electricity. This was practically taking off. Crackling sound, taking advantage of his immunity to electric types, Mu Chen pushed his speed to the limit. 100,000 volts of electricity flashed and sparked under his stomping. Just as Mu Chen had said, a trail of sparks and lightning followed. Pikachu. Pikachu, a bunch of idiots, you've seen my dashing figure, haven't you? HMPH. Are you scared? These morons thought I was helpless? I'll ask you, wasn't my performance cool today? Mu Chen, running on the 100,000 volts, was also extremely excited. This cool way of showing off was something he had come up with in a moment of desperation. Whether it would actually work, even Mu Chen himself wasn't sure. Fortunately, this performance didn't flop. Pikachu. Awesome. Well done. This time, the shout wasn't from Ash. Misty, who had been quietly watching, was still shy because of her awkward collision with Serena that morning. Originally, Zyuoxia just wanted to quietly watch Pikachu finish its battle. But when Pikachu unleashed its sparkling lightning attack, Zyuoxia couldn't sit still. This was her man. How could Zyuoxia not be excited to see her man so outstanding? However, because she was too excited, Zyuoxia jumped, and a tearing pain shot through her abdomen. Although Mu Chen's transformation only lasted 8 minutes, he had almost entered a high-speed movement state in order to finish the battle quickly. Zyuoxia wasn't like those old women like Melodic, with a strong physique to withstand Mu Chen's attacks. Moreover, although Zyuoxia had gained some experience in this kind of battle through her older sisters, it was all theoretical. This was Zyuoxia's first time experiencing actual combat. And the result? She was hit by Mu Chen's mindless high-speed onslaught on her first try. It would have been better if she hadn't done any strenuous exercise. This excitement immediately brought on the pain. Ouch, Zyuoxia? What's wrong? A tearing sensation shot through her, and Zyuoxia instinctively cried out in pain. Seeing Zyuoxia covered in sweat and crying out in pain, Serena, sitting next to her, quickly asked. No, nothing. What a joke. What could possibly be wrong? Even if something was wrong, she absolutely couldn't say it, right? While Ash, that simpleton, might not care about saving face, Zyanoxia cared a great deal. How could she possibly bring herself to say something like this? Pikachu, Zyanoxia? Zyanoxia's actions off the field were also seen by Mu Chen, who was showing off on Spark Lightning. Seeing Zyanoxia suddenly crouched down in pain, Mu Chen panicked. Was she swollen? Chapter 496, one more chapter remaining. Pikachu, you little punk. You think I can't hit you hiding in the smoke? Prepare for the judgment of thunder. The design is perfect, the style is perfect, and the momentum has reached its peak. Running wildly on the Thunderbolt, Mu Chen's speed has already been pushed to the limit. With his speed increased, Mu Chen's offensive choices are naturally crystal clear. Electric Ball, here we go. Finally, reaching the end of the Thunderbolt, Mu Chen leaped high into the air. With a boost of a flash of electricity, Mu Chen performed a stylish flip, throwing a golden electric ball into the smoke. Crackling, although this electric ball didn't have the boost of offensive charging, its power was absolutely not to be underestimated. The huge electric ball, nearly 2 meters in diameter, carrying bursts of fire, slammed into the ground with such force that it was definitely not something an ordinary person could withstand. At the very least, Rika was already terrified by the massive electric ball. Houndoom. Quick. Dodge. A thunderbolt attack could be blocked by dodging or taking the hit head-on. But how could she possibly block a 2-meter diameter electric ball? How big was the smoke screen anyway? Even a slight glancing blow would be too much for Houndoom's small frame. Seeing Pikachu unleash an electric ball, Rika, unwilling to accept defeat, immediately ordered Houndoom to relocate. The smoke screen was no longer safe. Ow! Even without Rika's command, Houndoom within the smoke screen had already abandoned its previous ferocity, tucking its tail between its legs and darting towards the outer edge of the smoke. Most Pokémon wouldn't dare experience the thrill of Mu Chen's electric ball attack. Pika, what the hell? Trying to run away? Did I even ask? Just as Mu Chen landed, he saw Houndoom burst out of the smoke. Electric ball was already activated, but Mu Chen didn't have Mewtwo's ability to control the direction of an already activated move. However, Mu Chen had his own methods. Without hesitation, Quick Attack was activated again. Leaping high, Mu Chen flipped his body, and before electric ball hit the ground, he lashed out with his tail, like hitting a baseball, delivering a powerful iron tail strike to his electric ball. Bang! Crackling sounds, struck hard by Mu Chen, electric ball immediately changed direction, accelerating towards the fleeing Houndoom. What? How is this possible? Ha ha ha. Pikachu. Well done. That move is amazing. Seeing Pikachu's astonishingly cool move, Rika and Ash reacted differently. Who would have thought that an activated move could be used like that? But then, right before their eyes, Pikachu pulled off an incredibly cool move, completely overturning their understanding of Pokémon skill usage. Of course, while Mu Chen's move looked simple, the requirements were actually extremely demanding. First, to hide a launched electric ball, you must possess immunity to electric-type attacks. Otherwise, the launched electric ball won't recognize you. Even if Pikachu were in its way, it would still bombard you. Second, to change the electric ball's direction by hitting it, you need extremely high speed and accurate prediction. Even the slightest error would make it impossible to change its direction. Of course, that's all in the future. At this moment, the electric ball, whose direction Mu Chen had changed, was hurtling towards Houndoom with destructive force. Ow! Seeing the electric ball getting closer and closer, all Houndoom could do was widen its eyes and let out a roar from the depths of its soul. Boom! Without any surprise. Even though Houndoom is a champion-level Pokémon, it's nothing special. After being hit squarely by Mu Chen's electric ball, Houndoom promptly went into twitching, knockdown state. This was only because Mu Chen didn't use the charging buff with the electric ball, otherwise. Pikachu. Well done. Let's keep going and win this match. The 2-on-1 battle became 1-on-1. Houndoom, responsible for ranged harassment, was already down, leaving only Umbreon, whose attack power wasn't particularly strong. Ash was full of confidence about the outcome. Damn it. Umbreon, use quick attack, charge in. Houndoom's defeat was too sudden, the favorable situation collapsed instantly, and Lingzi lost face. This was a 2-on-1 battle. Losing in a 2-on-1 battle, what would people think? Is this all the champion of the Johto region is capable of? Or is it that Rika doesn't deserve to be called a champion at all? Either way, the proud Rika said she absolutely couldn't accept it. Although Houndoom was already defeated, Umbreon was tough and resilient. In Rika's opinion, she still had a chance to win. As long as Umbreon could entangle Pikachu and find an opportunity to deliver a toxic shot, the outcome of the match would still be unpredictable. Gura, with Rika's command, Umbreon transformed into a black lightning bolt, shooting towards Pikachu, who had just defeated Houndoom and was still striking a pose. Pikachu! Watch out! This time, it was Misty who gave the warning. Seeing her little man so dashing, Misty's heart was already captivated. However, she had only just recovered from her daze when she saw Umbreon charging forward. Thinking of that incredibly vicious toxic shot from before, how could Misty not be nervous? Pika Pika, you little brat, trying to sneak up on me? Do you think I'll give you that chance? Seeing Umbreon charging, Mu Chen also activated Quick Attack. Before, it was 2 against 1, I couldn't do anything about it. Now it's just you left, do you think I'd give you that chance? Zzzzz. As he ran, sparks of electricity began to leap across Mu Chen's cheeks. For the same reason. Before, he was fighting too, and Mu Chen didn't have time to recharge. Now, it's just a race, right? I'll give you a few minutes, we'll circle around a few times, and then we'll take it slow. Mu Chen knew that to electrocute this incredibly resilient Umbreon, he had to use his fully charged ultimate move. Umbreon. Use Substitute. Then use Shadow Clone. Seeing that Pikachu had already activated its charging mode, Rika decisively changed her move. Chasing was definitely out of the question. Now, she could only pray that Pikachu's aim was limited and that it would miss. Chapter 497 Master Zhi is mighty. Pikachu, you idiot Rika, do you think I'm like you? Trying to show off your skills? Trying to outsmart me? My IQ is way higher than yours, okay? A woman who only knows how to train men, Mu Chen absolutely despises her. What the hell? Shadow clones? Substitutes? You think I can't hit you like that? Of course, the main reason Mu Chen despises Rika so much is that the male protagonist of that training isn't him. This is what Mu Chen finds most intolerable. Initially, Mu Chen did plan to use a black electric ball to directly take down the moon elf. But now it seems the black electric ball won't work. With shadow clones and substitutes, the chance of missing is extremely high. If he misses, wouldn't that be embarrassing? Therefore, Mu Chen changed his initial intention, abandoning the highly powerful single-target black electric ball and instead choosing a group attack skill, Thunder. You're a clone? You're a substitute? You're just creating a mess on the field? Fine, then I'll unleash a heavenly thunder strike to deal with your flashy antics. Pikachu, acting on his thoughts was always Mu Chen's good habit. Without further ado, having decided to use the thunder skill, Mu Chen didn't hesitate. A loud cry rang out from his mouth. As the cry echoed, the electricity on Mu Chen's cheeks instantly surged. The surging electricity shot straight into the sky, blasting towards the sky above Mu Chen's head. Crackling sounds, the electricity crashed into the sky, accompanied by bursts of thunder. The once clear sky instantly became covered with dark clouds. Within a massive, dark cloud, countless electric currents surged, converging above the arena like a descending thunderbolt. What? Mu Chen's move far exceeded Rika's expectations. She had been focused on defending against Pikachu's electric ball attack, but unexpectedly, the little creature had autonomously chosen a terrifying electric-type move, Thunder, without its trainer's command. Damn it! Umbreon, abandon defense, charge in, get close to Pikachu, and use Toxic. As a champion from the Johto region, Rika's battle experience was incredibly rich. After a brief moment of astonishment, Rika quickly responded. Just looking at the terrifying scene in the sky, Rika knew that Umbreon absolutely couldn't withstand this thunder attack. Therefore, Rika immediately changed her defensive tactics and chose to attack. As for why Toxic again? Well, Umbreon is tough, but its attack power can only be described with 2 words, awkward. Gurgle, alerted by Pear Blossom's warning, the moon elf dared not be careless. Looking at the increasingly dark clouds in the sky, the moon elf was equally panicked. Now that she had a way to defeat the enemy, how could the moon elf possibly let it go? With a cry, The Moon Elf's main body instantly burst out from among the numerous clones, running towards Mu Chen. Pikachu, Pikachu, idiot. You finally decided to come out? The Moon Elf switched from defense to offense, but Mu Chen remained unfazed. This guy wouldn't be able to come out, even lightning might not hide him accurately. If this guy was willing to come out, what was there to say? Bomb him. Zzz. Relying on his immunity to lightning, electricity crackled across Mu Chen's cheeks again. This time, Mu Chen directly manipulated the electricity within the clouds, blasting it down upon himself. HMPH. Today, I'll show you, Moon Elf, what it means to undergo tribulation. Boom. 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 At Mu Chen's summons, the pent-up electricity in the cloud seemed to have found a way to strike, relentlessly bombarding Mu Chen's location. Just then, Umbreon trotted up to Mu Chen. Oh no. Umbreon, retreat. Pikachu's series of stunts had already exhausted Rika. Seeing Pikachu unleash a thunderous barrage without warning, Rika was dumbfounded. Damn it. With these bang-bang lightning strikes, Umbreon wouldn't even be able to use Toxic, just being close would mean being hit too. Gura. This time, without Rika's command, Umbreon had already changed direction. How the hell could they fight this? Look at that Pikachu, relying on the constantly falling lightning pillars, it had become a Pikachu-shaped power plant. Pika, where do you think you're going? The Moon Elf tried to escape, but Mu Chen wouldn't let it. Damn it. What was the point of all this commotion? Wasn't it to quickly electrocute it so you could finish the job? If it gets away, I'm doomed. Without hesitation, with high-speed movement activated and a flash of lightning, Mu Chen, filled with deep emotion and the bombardment of thunder, chased after the fleeing Moon Elf. Boom. 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 Gura, Pika. In the arena, a Moon Elf sprinted ahead without looking back. Behind it, a leather-shaped power plant guided the thunder in the sky, relentlessly pursuing the Moon Elf. Gura. Finally, this farcical chase ended with the Moon Elf letting out a mournful cry. Pika, damn it. Why the hell are you running? You think you can outrun me? Looking at the Umbreon twitching from the electric shock beneath him, Mu Chen was filled with envy. This thing is incredibly resistant to electricity. If I had that resistance, what would I say? Yay. That's awesome. Pikachu. We won. With a match over, the most excited was naturally Ash. As expected of the Kanto region's Elite Four member, Ash, you're amazing. Rika's defeat was truly convincing. In a 2-on-1 situation, to be so thoroughly humiliated by Pikachu clearly showed the difference in strength. Haha. Elite Four member Rika, you're amazing too. Especially that special training you did with Elite Four member Kiku last night, it really benefited me a lot. If I have the chance, I hope to ask you more about that special training if I can. This was Ash saying something shameless with a straight face. When Ash finished speaking, Rika, Kiku, and the other two Elite Four members all changed their expressions drastically. Pikachu, holy crap. Ash, you're really something else. How could you even say that? The three Chundu Kings' expressions changed drastically, and Mu Chen's expression changed just as much? Damn it, how come I didn't know Ash was so arrogant? He really dares to say anything. Chapter 498 Unexplainable. Pikachu, system, what do you say? Looking at the ashen-faced Yishu, the slightly flustered Lihua, and finally, the long-time runaway Aju, Mu Chen humanely stroked his chin. Damn it, shouldn't we get a mission? Having finally cleared his debts, Mu Chen was really looking forward to random missions. I don't ask for much, just a 5-hour transformation or something, that's enough. Of course, this was one of the reasons Mu Chen requested random missions. As for the other reason, it was because of Yishu and Lihua. Mu Chen wasn't stupid. Lingzi had told him before that someone in the Chundu League was in contact with Apollo from Team Rocket, and that they had even provided the necessary assistance, which was why Apollo was able to attack Ash on MT Silver. Now that the regular competitions were over, wasn't it time for revenge? According to the normal script, after Ash finished the regular challenges, it would naturally be attacks from the shadows. And that was exactly what Mu Chen was hoping for. Unfortunately, this time, because of Ash's words, the entire script was disrupted. Host, look at the situation now. Do you think the Silver League still needs your intervention? Itsuki's gaze was murderous. Of course, anyone in this situation would be in a similar predicament. Although a hint of resentment flashed in Rika's eyes, there was more panic than anything else. Clearly, the relationship between these two wasn't measured by Pokémon-type advantages. Itsuki was obviously the one in charge. Rika was cheating on him, and with a newly crowned Poison-type Elite Four member, Aju, and most importantly, Ash saw it and announced it in public. Itsuki's lack of direct physical punishment of Rika only showed his considerable self-control. In the current situation, what kind of random mission was there? Nobody's a fool, couldn't they see it? Basically, as soon as Ash left, Itsuki and Rika would definitely have a showdown. As for Aju, who had already sensed the danger and fled? Hell, unless he never returns to the Silver Alliance, will this tree let him off the hook? Pikachu, system, that's not how you calculate things. Indeed, the Silver Alliance is a bit chaotic right now. But didn't you want to change the timeline? Think about it, this tree and Pear Blossom are a couple. Even if they fight, it won't necessarily result in death. At most, it'll be that kid, Aju, who gets sacrificed. Sacrificing Aju only reduces one Heavenly King. The overall situation of the Silver Alliance remains unchanged. But what if I help you deal with this tree and Pear Blossom? If these two veteran Heavenly Kings of the Silver Alliance are gone, wouldn't the change in the timeline be even greater? For this system mission, Mu Chen, unusually, put his mind to work. Hearing Mu Chen say this, the system fell silent. Mu Chen knew that this thing was weighing the pros and cons, seeing if he would ultimately gain anything. Mu Chen didn't care at all. If he could trick them into giving him the mission, it was free. If he couldn't, he wouldn't lose anything, right? Elite Four member, if there's nothing else, we'll take our leave. Just as Mu Chen was discussing the random mission with the system, Ash finally reacted. When he uttered the word special training, everyone's expression changed drastically, but Ash still didn't notice anything amiss. However, after Serena's persuasion, Ash, the simpleton, finally shut up. After a while, Ash finally noticed a slightly awkward atmosphere. With the challenge over, and the spirit that it was better to go back to Serena for special training than to stand there staring at each other, Ash finally spoke up. Ash, thank you. Ash was leaving. An Elite Four member wanted to say something. However, this thank you left Ash completely bewildered. Serena, why is Elite Four member thanking me? Didn't I defeat Elite Four member? On his way out, Ash was still struggling with how to thank Elite Four member. Is this guy out of his mind? I defeated him late at night, and now he's thanked me after defeating Elite Four member Ryan? Hey, Ash. Don't ask me these weird questions. Ash's words always have immense destructive power. One sentence, and Serena was instantly KO'd by Ash. Pikachu, Misty, let's go. Don't pay attention to this idiot. Seeing Ash heading towards Misty after KOing Serena, Mu Chen waved his short arms repeatedly. What the hell is this? This idiot is clueless, asking such a ridiculous question. How am I supposed to explain this to him? Tell him that it wasn't special training, that it was a deep exchange between a man and a woman? And that Ryan and Ichiju's exchange was legal, while her exchange with Aju was a clandestine one. Not only did he see the clandestine exchange, but he also said it out loud in front of everyone. Ichiju, who is supposed to be legal, can't accept it and is about to explode. Oh my god. Isn't this embarrassing? Besides, what if Ash, that idiot, stopped going to Serena for special training after the explanation? At this moment, the only way Mu Chen could think of to make Ash fall in love with Serena was to make him train her every day, hoping for some kind of love at first sight development. If there was no special training, how could they complete the mission? Mu Chen had long since given up on Ash's emotional intelligence. After getting rid of Ash and returning to his room, Mu Chen and Xiaoxia didn't cause any trouble this time. Having not slept well for most of the night and having fought a battle during the day, Mu Chen was extremely exhausted. Since the system hadn't replied yet, Mu Chen could only choose to rest. No matter what, recovering his strength was the most important thing, wasn't it? However, to Mu Chen's surprise, Lingzi appeared shortly after he and Xiaoxia fell asleep. Pikachu, what's going on? Don't you always call me in the middle of the night? What are you doing here in broad daylight? My precious Xiaoxia saw this. How am I supposed to explain this? Looking at Lingzi waving and gesturing at him from the window, Mu Chen was utterly bewildered. What's going on? What, because of Aju's interference? The communication didn't go smoothly. Are you trying to make up for it? Making up for it is fine, but why wait until tonight? My transformation cooldown isn't over yet. Filled with doubt, Mu Chen could only tiptoe out the door. Anyway, I'll ask first. Chapter 499. Finally, a random mission is coming. Pikachu, Pikachu, Miss Lindsay, what's wrong? Who cooked you? Tell me. I'll go get revenge for you. Swaying and sticking out his little butt, Mu Chen walked out of the room. However, when he came out, he found that Lindsay wasn't in a good state. What's going on? Why are her eyes teary? Who the hell bullied my Lindsay? Although he hadn't won Lindsay over yet, it was only a matter of time. If he wanted to, Mu Chen could launch his most frenzied attack on her at any time. Therefore, in Mu Chen's heart, Lindsay was also his. Now, seeing his girl like this, how could Mu Chen not be angry? What? Pikachu, please, please save my brother. Seeing Pikachu appear, the crying Lindsay immediately found her pillar of support. Without saying a word, she hugged Pikachu tightly and began to plead with it. Pikachu, Pikachu, holy crap. What's going on? Save your brother? What happened to Aju, that special training expert? Did he run away? Being embraced by Lindsay, Mu Chen couldn't deny being excited. Xia Aksha was good, but when it came to development, Lindsay was more imposing. But now wasn't the time for him to enjoy himself. Hearing Lindsay's tearful plea for help to save his brother, Mu Chen was still a little stunned. Damn it, if my memory serves me right, didn't Aju run away immediately after that idiot Xia Ozzy uttered that special training phrase? He's a ninja. With his skills, he couldn't even escape beforehand? That's ridiculous. What? My brother was captured by Elite Four member and the others, please, save my brother, he was captured again? This useless piece of trash. Weren't you so awesome during special training? Why are you so weak now? Hearing Lindsay say that Aju had indeed been captured by Yishu, Mu Chen was speechless. But come to think of it, this seemed like an opportunity. He had previously tricked the system into giving him a random mission to eliminate Yishu and Lihua, creating a major overhaul for the Silver Alliance. But the system hadn't given a definite answer. Now that his little brother Aju had been captured, shouldn't the system do something about it? Although Aju had only acknowledged Mu Chen as its leader temporarily, Mu Chen hadn't taken the system seriously. Lindsay was enough. But since this had already happened, he might as well make some moves, right? Pikachu, Pikachu, system, come out, let's discuss this. What do you mean? Thinking it over, he acted immediately, ignoring the still crying Lindsay, and quickly contacted the system. Host, a random mission can be issued. However, this mission is quite difficult, and I can only issue you the reward for a single random mission. Think it over, and if you're okay with it, I'll issue the mission to you immediately. After constantly negotiating with Mu Chen, the system has become increasingly adept at calculating. Clearly, the system knows this guy is extremely eager for system missions, so it's directly raising the price, increasing the difficulty, but keeping the reward the same. Pikachu, holy crap. Isn't that a bit much? That's a tree and pear blossoms, 2 heavenly kings, and only 1 random mission? When did heavenly kings become so worthless? Can you stop messing around with me? Hearing that the system only offered this small reward, Mu Chen was furious. Is this some kind of joke? This is about assassinating heavenly kings, not some kind of ridiculous competition. In this life or death battle, those heavenly kings will use all their trump cards, and their combat power will definitely be much stronger than in the previous competition. To only calculate the reward for a mission of this difficulty level as a single random mission is absolutely unacceptable to Mu Chen. Host, you need to understand that this mission was requested by you. I created this additional mission specifically because of your request. Therefore, the rewards I can give you are already the limit. Moreover, this battle isn't as difficult as you imagine. Rika just suffered a defeat, and her Pokémon haven't recovered yet. You basically only need to deal with Aishu and 1 person. Don't forget, Aju is also an Elite Four member. He was captured by Aishu because Psychic-type poison is super effective against him. As long as you rescue him, Aju will naturally help you fight off Rika. What does this mean by calculating? The system's calculations are quite meticulous. Pikachu, Pikachu, holy crap. Do you have to be so calculating? I'll accept it. Hurry up and give me the mission. Something is better than nothing. Hearing the system calculate things so thoroughly, Mu Chen was completely speechless. What else could he say? Just as this guy said, that damn Aju isn't just for show. If we can get him out of there, we should be able to take down Rika. Maybe, once we do, Aju, filled with rage, can even put on a special training performance right there? Last time I was busy looking for that idiot Zhi, so I didn't get a good look at the details. This time I'll definitely have to observe carefully. Thinking of this, Mu Chen's mood immediately improved. Random mission, save Aju, overthrow the Silver League. Mission requirements, defeat the 2 Elite Four members, Yiju and Rika, and make them lose their positions as Elite Four members of the Silver League. Mission reward, enhanced roulette wheel. System message, in the year of Sao, strive hard. As a special bonus, this system doesn't require you to kill these 2 Elite Four members this time. As long as you can remove them from the stage, no matter what methods you use, it will count as completing the mission. With Mu Chen's earnest anticipation, the random mission finally arrived. The reward was as expected, still the same big spinning wheel, but with the addition of the word enhancement that excited Mu Chen. The only thing that puzzled Mu Chen was the mission requirement. No need to kill? Just get them off the stage? What, does this mean I can outsmart them this time, without needing to fight? Huh? Damn. I'm a genius. Mu Chen was initially confused when he saw the mission. However, after a moment of confusion, he suddenly understood. This mission, doesn't it mean that if I expose Aju and Li Hua's scandal, they'll be forced to step down? No way. That won't do. Aju's downfall is one thing, but what about Aju? She's his little brother. Thinking of this, Mu Chen rejected this seemingly tempting but actually trap-filled method. Forget it, why think so much? Just go and film it, that's the simplest way. Chapter 500 Saving Private Aju. Pikachu, Lingzi, led the way. Let's go. Xia was fast asleep, so Mu Chen wasn't worried at all. It had been up all night, and so had Xia. He could still manage with his strong physique, but Xia clearly couldn't. Taking this opportunity to rescue Aju would save him the trouble of explaining to Xia, right? Over here. Pikachu. Thank you. Thank you. Lingzi was naturally overjoyed that Pikachu was willing to help. In this moment that had brought her to the brink of despair, she couldn't rely on anyone else, so she could only depend on Pikachu. Pikachu, with our relationship, why are you being so polite with me? Later, when you have a chance, you can train me, and everything will fall into place, right? Watching Lingzi running ahead, swaying her tempting peach-like body, Mu Chen's fighting spirit grew even stronger. This, too, counts as rescuing my brother-in-law, right? Pikachu. This is it. My brother is being held captive here. After a swift journey, Lingzi quickly led Mu Chen to a house nestled at the foot of a mountain, separate from the Silver League. Seeing Lingzi pointing towards the house, Mu Chen waved his hand. Alright, little Lingzi, go find a safe place in the back. Leave the rest to me. Lingzi's combat strength wasn't weak, but it depended on who she faced. Against ordinary trainers and Team Rocket elites, Lingzi could hold her own. Against Elite Four level trainers like Ichuki and Rinka, she'd just be cannon fodder. The special training mission hadn't even begun yet. How could Mu Chen let Lingzi rush up with him rashly? Waving his hand, ignoring Lingzi's reaction, Mu Chen decisively activated high speed. Ichuki's psychic abilities were a major concern for Mu Chen. If they weren't careful, they might be discovered. While a simple, direct rush wasn't out of the question, what about Aju? The mission required rescuing Aju. What if I rush in and they kill me? That would be a complete waste. Rika. Why are you doing this to me? What's so great about this damn ninja? Look at him, he's no match for me. I'm so strong, aren't you satisfied? In a few leaps, Mu Chen was already outside the house. Just as he found a window to lean against, he heard Ichuki's indignant voice from inside. Pikachu, holy crap. What's going on? There's a plot here. Hearing Ichuki's voice, Mu Chen quickly moved towards the sound. HMPH. You're strong? Strong my ass. You can't even last 3 minutes. I haven't even started, and you're already finished. You still have the nerve to say that? So what if you're a ninja? A ninja's physique is truly strong. Strength aside. At least Aju can satisfy me. Besides, if you weren't relying on elemental advantage, Aju might not be a match for you. What the hell? 3 minutes? Faster than me? Finding the source of the sound, he looked out the window and saw Yishu standing there, looking grief-stricken, while the philandering Li Hua was sitting casually on the sofa. As for Aju, whom they were discussing, she was there too. This unfortunate child was currently tied up and thrown into a corner. At this moment, Mu Chen was no longer concerned about Aju. Anyway, She was alive and well. What difference did it make whether he saved her sooner or later? The content of their conversation was much more explosive. Lihu. I'm just practicing my superpowers, you know? Give me some time, and after I break through, I'll recover. Then, not just 3 minutes, but 30 minutes, I'll be fine, clearly. The seemingly powerful Yishu is now desperately pleading with Lihu. Pikachu, damn, what a simp. Is it really necessary? You're a superstar, you could easily hook up with 2 people like it's nothing. Seeing Yishu, who had even abandoned his masculine dignity, kneeling before Lihu and pleading desperately, Mu Chen felt utterly contemptuous. A grown man like him, had he never seen a woman before? Yes. This Lihu is quite alluring, but even I felt a surge of lust at the sight of her. But did she have to be so pathetic? Get away, Lihu kicked away the licking Yishu, her eyes also filled with contempt. I've had my fill of this Aju, you can do whatever you want with her. But let me tell you, you'd better not interfere in my private life. Apollo is out of contact now. Whether Apollo reappears or Team Rocket sends someone else, if you dare ruin my plans, I'll kill you, Lihu, fickle and promiscuous. That was Mu Chen's assessment of Lihu. This woman was no ordinary person. But what was she talking about just now? Apollo? Team Rocket? Well, it really was you two. Then don't blame me for being ruthless. Mu Chen had already been suspicious of these two. Now, hearing Lihu's words, he was even more certain of his suspicions. No doubt about it. These two were colluding with Team Rocket. That means I don't need to hold back anymore. Ignoring Yishu's continued fawning, Mu Chen found a secluded corner and slipped into the room. No matter what, rescuing Aju was the priority. With his tiny frame, squeezing into a house was a piece of cake. However, just as Mu Chen slowly moved towards Aju, who was lying in the corner, preparing to secretly untie the ropes binding him, an unexpected incident occurred. Snap! 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 Hurry up! If you want to prove your strength to me, hurry up! Not enough, holy crap! What's going on? What the hell is that noise? As an experienced driver, how could Mu Chen not guess what was happening? What the hell is going on? It's not even dark yet. Weren't you just fawning over that lapdog, Yishu? And now you've risen to the top? That's fucking fast. Hearing the intense sounds of their special training, Mu Chen lost all interest in Aju. This idiot's been tied up for half a day anyway, let him stay tied up. I'm going to watch the show, observe and learn, see how Yishu finishes the battle in 3 minutes. However, to Mu Chen's surprise, his excitement caused some noise as he walked. The two engaged in their intense special training didn't notice, but Aju, who was nearby, did. Master, besides Yishu Ruka and the bound Aju, there was no one else in the room. Startled by the sudden noise, Aju quickly turned around. Upon seeing this, Aju was excited. Master! Quick, save me. I can help you. Now is the perfect opportunity. I can help you deal with Rika. Aju wasn't stupid. Pikachu's sudden appearance here wasn't because he knew the two were going to train or anything like that. His purpose in coming here was definitely to save himself. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.